So why are we here, Lemon?
The podcast
Yeah.
about weird albums I find on the internet.
Which, I mean, do they have to be good?
I'd prefer if they were good. I won't listen to an
It's
entire
better for
album.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause,
Yeah. I
cause
mean, like
like
if
there
we
are
said that,
there are podcasts out there about like just reviewing albums, but they're usually like either like mainstream albums or like old albums or like
yeah.
vaguely indie albums, but they're still sold and shit. Nah,
Well,
nah.
yeah. We're not gonna be like it's like,
Nah,
oh, have you
I
heard like
want
the
that
million?
I want that ghetto shit. I want
Yeah,
video game albums. I want
yeah,
just random albums online that are completely free.
yeah. Like stuff like, oh, we're not gonna be like, okay, have you heard the 13 millionth like indie like Swedish metal band?
Oh fuck yeah, bro. We're gonna cover the latest Green Day album.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
That's a terrible Jerry Seinfeld impression.
I don't think anyone could do a good Jerry Seinfeld impression.
I don't know. I've heard a couple good ones.
Bren Daniel can.
Yeah, but especially like the one we're doing right now, I've seen like I think like a couple videos. I think like the one that's got like the most popular is the Anthony Scamtano video.
Scam
That's pretty
Tano?
fun. Yeah, that's what he says at the beginning of it. He just keeps changing it each time he does it.
Oh,
At least
my man
Anthony
Fantano.
Fantano. Yeah.
I forgot we were doing a podcast about an album. What album are we doing, Drago?
Spirit Phone.
Spirit Phone by Lemon Demon.
Probably one of my like favorite albums ever.
It's really good.
It's so good. And I'm a guy who doesn't really listen to full albums.
I think it really fits with my sort of whole deal. I like true crime a lot.
Yeah.
And this isn't exactly a true crime album, but it's vaguely supernatural. And I like
Yeah.
vaguely
You,
supernatural things.
you know what I just realized? Like you definitely have sort of like a vibe of sort of like the etherealness of the internet about you. Just like, oh yeah, all this obscure shit.
I mean,
All those like creepy pastas and shit.
Creepypasta.
Yeah, all those old like creepy pastas, dude. I was like looking at creepy pastas like at 2 a.m. last night. Like Ted the Caver. I was like,
Ted the Caver.
you've never heard of that one?
That's such a creepypasta name.
No, dude, it's nuts, and I'm like, man, that's some shit that would like give me nightmares. Just not even because it's like scary to me. It's just that like claustrophobia and just like that. Yeah, that's like stuff that you would see in nightmares.
Yeah, but you're easily
I'll tell you about
scared.
that later.
You're
I'm
easily
not.
scared though.
I'm not easily scared. I'm easily creeped out.
I can't believe the first song in the Spirit album, the Spirit Phone album, is Ted the Caver.
Yeah. I was just about to say we should probably like get to what we're doing instead of
If
just
that was a
trying.
Lemon Demon song, I wouldn't be surprised.
The Lemon Demon would write some shit about. I'm surprised like they haven't written stuff about like creepy pastas and shit. Like
I mean, Lemon Demon is vaguely related to that. I'd say the closest one
it's
that's to
fake.
like, the one of the songs is the closest one that's close to being a creepypasta is probably Cabinet Man.
No, I don't think it's really. I think Cabinet Man and maybe Eighth Wonder.
No, because Eighth Wonder is based on a true thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's an actual story.
Cabinet Man is just like a weird cabinet monster, so I feel like that's closest to being a creepypasta.
Oh, Crisis Actors.
That,
Well,
that's
that's more of a
that's
conspiracy theory.
Alex Jones shit.
That's Alex Jones. Well, it's not. Well, like I did some digging and like uh jumping ahead a bit. It's not actually like about those Alex Jones types. It's about like the
Yeah,
conspiracy theory
it's about
that
like
they're talking
taking the
about.
conspiracy literal and you're going behind this into the crisis actors studio where it's like Hollywood but with
Yeah.
crisis
Because like when
actors.
like the first couple times I listened to it, I thought it was like it's like, oh hey, we're Alex Jones, we're gonna debunk this entire thing, but no, actually, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. I'll hold back because there's my favorite line is in there and I'll just hold back on it.
Yeah. First one's up as Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, Lifetime Achievement World. One, I think technically it's the best song, but I think since it's at the beginning and I hear it every time I listen to the album, which is a lot. I think I don't think I've gotten sick of it, but I think I've heard it enough times where I want to skip to the songs of like in the middle or the end.
It's more just like you kind of like it's sort of like a game that you've played at so many times that you've like got all it is to offer. Yeah, like sort of like it's kind of like a soft burnout type of thing where you listen to it so much and it's still good and you recognize it's still good and you still enjoy it.
Like there's still a lot of
But
good things in there.
yeah, but it's sort of like you're not going to go out of your way to listen to it unless you're in like a certain type of mood like that.
Yeah. Then sometimes you just want to listen to the whole thing. Like album.
Yeah, like how did you find Spirit Phone?
Let me think back. I remember finding Spirit Phone as in like singular songs, like a long time, probably when it first came out.
Really? So, like, are we talking like when like the demos and shit came out before the actual
demos?
album?
No, the demos go back to like way back, like fucking 2012 and shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, because Neil Cicierega is the type of this has been on the internet for a long time. He practically invented it.
Yeah, I remember like hearing a couple of like Neil Cicierega shit that I just didn't know about.
There's one song that of Neil's that probably everyone has heard is the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
That's actually not the one. Actually, I haven't heard that one.
I can guarantee that a lot of people have heard that one though. And although the one that's probably more people have heard, but is way more unlikely for anyone to know is Brody Quest.
Yeah,
because like that was a meme for a while, and everyone heard it.
I think it was like Brody Quest, like just people like sampling it or something.
It's a meme where you just like you know.
Yeah.
Like Sayori Quest or like Papyrus Quest, you know.
Yeah. But like so you just sort of like just stumbled upon it in like the individual tracks?
Yeah. I think the one that I specifically stumbled upon was Cabinet Man or Touchtone Telephone for sure. I found that one because it's Touchtone Telephone.
Probably
Because it's Touchtone Telephone and it's the only song that has 1 million views.
Yeah, which is probably like one of probably one of my favorite tracks.
It's definitely one of the best ones.
Speaking like, funnily enough, my favorite track is the one that you showed, like the one bonus track. They say, okay, you're finished with the album. Listen to this one bonus track in
that one's my favorite too because it's fucking spooky as fuck.
Yeah, especially like hearing the commentary about it's like, oh yeah, this is unfinished, and I'm like, what? It doesn't feel unfinished.
It really shows like the quality of Neil as an artist.
Oh yeah.
Because like artists always have this sort of like, this isn't that good, you know. And I feel like that's because I wouldn't call myself an artist, but I do a lot of projects and shit. And whenever you do a lot of stuff and you're looking at it personally, you can see the issues in it and you can see where you failed.
Yeah.
But whenever someone else looks at it, it's like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Because you're not like, you don't know like, oh, like I had a hard time with this. This is a little bit
you weren't in the headspace.
Yeah, you're not in the headspace, and you also you're not like you don't have the opportunity to like peek behind the curtain at your own stuff.
And like tiny like details. Like most people won't look at it that closely, right?
No. And even if they are, like they like if it looks good or it sounds good, like in that regard, they won't notice it, but you will. It's sort of if it's just like so they just sort of like gloss over. Even they're looking over it. It's just like it's just something that's like unless they know it's there, they won't see it.
Yeah. I think there's something important we should mention is that technically, like in the technical side of things, we're not experienced at all.
No, hell no.
Not at all. I barely know the names of music genres.
Exactly. Like we don't know like the process of making music. We don't know how synths are. We don't know how
I don't know what the fuck like a beat or whatever, acorns.
Yeah, like I'm the type of guy who just like I don't know what's going on.
Brain like it. Sounds good to my brain.
Yeah, I like it. Like I overanalyze shit. Like I'll overanalyze lyrics and shit like that. And like I was like, oh, I can identify. It's like, oh, those guitars are great though. Like that's a good bass riff or something like that. But I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the good things about. This is gonna sound weird. That's one of the good things about good things. You can tell, so normal people can tell when something is good, but they can't
Yeah,
explain it, and that's
yeah,
usually the
yeah,
goal.
yeah. Like it's sort of like unless you're like specifically targeting it to like people like with a high, I guess, like aptitude and that sort of thing.
Mm,
It's like, oh, only like certain types of people, like people who know how to make music and know the intricacies of music, are gonna be able to pick up on this, and this, unless that's your express purpose. Then like if then like just doing that, most people just won't get it, and then like it's not gonna be like that's not really something you should shoot for.
yeah, yeah. Which
Because just
I don't think it's a bad thing.
no, no,
I think it's a shame sometimes, but it's not an
yeah, yeah, it's
explicitly bad thing.
it's not bad. It's just a shame that like most people.
There's just things that some people like either can't get or won't want to get or just don't have the time to get because they have things they feel
Yeah,
more
like
important in their life.
we're a bunch of schmucks.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of schmucks.
Which probably is going to set us different from other podcasts and stuff. It's like we don't know. We don't
from
know. We're
from talented podcasters who
yeah,
know
from
what
like
they're
people,
talking about.
yeah, like talented podcasters who don't go off on tangents about creepypastas and shit.
Yeah, well, that's the that's our appeal. That's the gap.
Yeah, we're casuals,
Casuals.
filthy, if you would say.
Plebs, we need to get good. Weren't we talking about were we talking about fucking Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yeah,
Lifetime Achievement Award is about the named Lifetime Achievement Award.
yeah, like the award that they give music
That's a
artists.
real thing, right?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
People get lifetime achievements awards.
and I think the
It's like
plot.
I think it's one of the most like prestigious award like musicians can get. I
Yeah,
think. I think
I mean probably you get it
probably.
after you die, so
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're gonna know.
yeah.
I mean, they might get it while they die, but like before they die, I mean, but
The
well,
sound
they don't know.
more. I think it's a thing you get after you die.
I would also like to mention you harassed me with this album for a while.
Oh yeah, I harassed everyone with this album
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Until you
really
eventually
fucking good.
has everybody listened to it at this point?
No,
No?
no, it's only you.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Mike hasn't. I thought Mike would listen to it.
Mike has the attention span of a fucking fly.
That is also true. I mean, like we listened to it together at like something in the morning playing Minecraft. So
Yeah,
like
I basically strapped you into a Minecraft server and then just fucking made you listen to
yeah,
it.
we were on like the first Minecraft server and we were mining for hours doing mind-numbing shit and we listened to 3 albums down there. 3 albums.
Three of them.
No, 4 because it was into Hawaii.
Oh yeah, we did.
We got to do Hawaii then too.
That one's gonna be a big project because there's a lot I don't know about it.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't even know who
Hawaii is
made.
such a mysterious thing to me.
Yeah,
Hawaii Part 2 specifically, that's what it's called. Implying there's a
yeah,
Part 1, but there isn't.
yeah. There just isn't. Um, but yeah, Lifetime Achievement Award.
The plot of Lifetime Achievement Award is when someone gets the Lifetime Achievement Award, they are brought back to life through disgusting Frankenstein nature
Well,
things.
I don't think it's when they do that. I just think it's that especially like
I
you're
think
from
the plot is this specific scenario is that Michael
yeah.
Jackson got the Lifetime Achievement Award and he's being brought back to life.
Well, no, because I think in the commentary track he was talking about how like both like they had that like Michael Jackson like after he died they were doing stuff with him like
Oh
with his
yeah.
music,
Oh yeah.
and then like after Tupac died they had that like hologram of him performing his music at a concert.
And like music of him still came out after he died, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's still Tupac songs that are out today.
yeah, that were just like half baked, like just sort of like half done. That they're just like, we can do some of this, right?
It's basically like death of the artist that doesn't mean anything because they will just keep going.
Yeah, yeah. Like even if you're dead, they'll still keep using your name and your image, like
Like,
and run it
yeah,
into the ground and keep going.
symbolically, that's what that song means. However, I like the literal interpretation of bringing Michael Jackson back to life in a weird Frankenstein experiment and making him make music.
Well, they even like they even they name dropped Katy Perry.
Yeah, because
And
Katy Perry once, what was it the Katy Perry once said?
I don't know.
I think Katy Perry once mistook Michael Jackson for being alive.
I think like she just like was friends with Michael Jackson or something.
She was like a kid when Michael Jackson was a thing.
I don't know. Um, but like they even say like, "Hey, remember Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson really happened." So I think like it's you're the point of view of of like a music artist who's being resurrected from the dead.
Yeah, or Michael Jackson actually.
Yeah. Um.
It's also very sarcastic at points, like, "Bro, you look amazing," really put together, implying the Frankenstein angle.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. It
it's
also
like
says like
it's like we know what we're doing or something.
yeah. Even as we speak, we're synthesizing blood and organs, synthesizing heart and soul.
Yeah.
Like new hands, new throat, new living tissue.
I think my favorite is verse 3. Don't be nervous, baby. We put a billion eyes back on you from the grave to the stage. You're unnatural, babe.
Yeah.
I really
Play
like that verse. It's good.
it's so good.
Neil is
That's
also just a really talented singer.
even as we speak, you're synthesizing blood and organ synthesis. Oh, it's so good.
This song also features the infamous "Oh No."
Oh no! Oh no!
Neil loves just putting "Oh No" in the songs, and frankly, I'm for it.
We should also mention that in the beginning of the song, there's like just a bunch of white noise.
Yeah.
That
What
like
did he say it was that in
he
the
said it was in the commentary track. He said it was like, oh, as if it's supposed to be. He said like it's a ghost, like it's a ghost sort of just like floating between like the tracks. Like
didn't he say how he made the noises?
I don't remember. Which we should also bring up the fact that he's basically just doing this in like his house
Yeah.
without any dedicated equipment. He's sitting in a closet doing this,
Yeah.
just like recording all this.
Neil has a TED Talk called Internet Person.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Professional internet person, which is what he is.
Yeah, it really is. Like he's a, it's like an internet like cultural touchstone at times.
Yeah. Being a professional internet person involves being incredibly multi-talented.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like he's working on this shit all by himself, and it's like it's something you'd hear on the radio, like
Yeah, like
that kind
Spirit Phone
of
has been a thing like he's been making for years.
for
Like the
years.
earliest song in this album is like from 2012.
Yeah, that is Cabinet Man, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's Cabinet Man, and then I think Reaganomics is also really old.
Oh yeah. The version on his YouTube is the earliest version of Reaganomics, and I also think the YouTube version of Reaganomics is the best one, just because it feels a bit more upbeat and funky.
Which one's that?
The one on his YouTube channel, the Reaganomics one.
Mm. The one I usually go to is the one that someone made a music video for, where it's Reagan doing like his movie and stuff, where he's like a race car
That
driver.
that's the one on his YouTube channel. Have you
Oh,
ever
that's
looked
the
at
one.
it? Have you ever looked who posted that video?
No,
That's the one.
I mean I've probably seen it. I just don't remember at the moment.
Yeah, that's the Spirit
Al-
Lifetime
Also, like
Achievement Award.
in the first like in the first part, it's like that white noise something, which comes again later in Spiral Advance.
Yeah.
Which when you pointed it out to me, I was like, dude, that's so cool. And I actually like did it like as soon as it ended. I hit like
So
I queued.
some albums do this. That is a looping album where all the songs
Mhm.
kind of play into each other, and by the end, it loops into the first song.
And also like with Spiral Advance, it's like you're going in a spiral. There's no end to it.
We could talk
Which
about Spiral Vents when we get to Spiral Vents.
yeah, we'll do that then. But also the fact that like it starts with Lifetime Achievement Award of you being revived to keep making music, as if like the record itself is being like brought back.
Hmm
which I just thought of.
It's cool.
And in Lifetime Achievement where they just have like just a ton of puns and stuff, just like weird, clever like
There's a lot
wordplay.
of puns, play on words, and a lot of references.
Yeah, like Delta Echo Alpha Delta I didn't really get until like looking at it for the first time. Just
DEAD, dead.
yeah, just dead. Um
And the outro for Lifetime Achievement Award.
yeah, is apparently like a callback to the Thriller thing that
Yeah, Michael, for when Thriller was coming out, they realized like, yo, this kind of makes me look like a weird like cult
like
kind of
satanic
dude,
cult dude,
satanic
yeah.
cult dude, yeah. And this was like in the middle of like the satanic panic too, so like people were afraid.
No, because this came out in the 80s. Like Thriller came out
Yeah,
in the 80s, didn't it? Yeah.
the satanic panic was around the 80s.
It was I think it was the 70s. No.
It was around. People were afraid. Is the
Yeah,
general.
no. The Satanic Panic was, I think, like a late 70s, early 80s. So I think that lines up. Yeah, I could be wrong though.
Yeah, but like people were generally afraid, and Michael Jackson realized maybe I should include something, and so the outro for Lifetime Achievement Award, which is it, extensively about Michael Jackson, includes "Due to my strong personal convictions," and then
Is it like verbatim, like the thing he said?
I think it's verbatim. I haven't researched that, but I think it is verbatim what he says. Like, due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress that this record in no way endorses a belief in a occult.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Michael Jackson one says, "Due to my strong personal convictions, I wish to stress that this film is in no way endorses a belief in the occult," and that's
Because
when it stops.
this is a haunted record.
Yeah, yeah, this is like a haunted record, and it
Yeah,
like keeps repeating, and also like, um, it's like I wish to stress,
yeah.
like as like
The he said in the commentary track, the under a lot of the times where like things are repeated in his in like in the background.
mhm.
It's like his voice, but like synthesized with a certain program or something.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. I remember in the track he talked about that a lot in When He Died.
Yeah, because when he died
Like,
has it a lot.
yeah, he did a lot of weird stuff in that one,
Yeah,
which fits it.
if it's because that's excluding the leftover the bonus tracks. That is the most explicitly horror themed track.
Yeah, yeah. Because like the other one's like, oh, there's something wrong here. But When He Died is just like, yeah, this is just some like
This is
stuff you
horror.
find in Goosebumps. Yeah, like just like Goosebumps, but turned up to 11. And then it goes into Touchtone Telephone, which is one of my favorites and probably the most popular track on
Can
it.
I'd like to explain? I'd like to go further into how I found Spirit Phone
Go for it.
because I did not complete the story because this is where it really happens. After listening to Touchstone Telephone a shit ton of times and thinking, yeah, that's really good, and I listened to like I think it was one of the slower songs. It's probably a Lifetime Achievement Award since it has a really
Slower
long
songs.
Lifetime Achievement Award has a really long intro, and I also have a short attention span sometimes. So
Yeah, it doesn't
when I first tried to listen to it, and it was just this
because
really
it's
long
just white
intro.
noise and like a ding 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 ding
Yeah,
ding ding.
that
Ding.
when I first tried, I just couldn't get past that sometimes.
Mhm.
But back when high school was still a thing, and I was in high school, uh, I had
When it was
this like after school type thing that I had to do. And it was usually just a long periods of silence with nothing much to do except work, so that I can get the bonus points that I needed.
yeah.
So I put on music. So I got in the habit of putting on entire albums, which is where a lot of the weirder albums I find nowadays comes from.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you still need to recommend me all those because
yeah,
you got good taste.
yeah. So I put on Spirit Phone and I listened to the first song, and it started talking about Michael Jackson and coming back to life and dead shit. And I was like, "What the fuck is this album about? What?"
So like that was the first time you actually put on the
Yeah,
whole
that was the
album.
first time I put on the whole album, and I realized there's something weird about this album.
It's just like, oh, this is the one that Touchtone Telephone's in. I guess it'll
Yeah,
sort of be like that, and then you put
yeah.
it in
And
because
then
Touchtone Telephone is an entirely different vibe.
yeah, it's an entirely really upbeat, different vibe from the rest of it.
Because like with Lifetime Achievement Award, like it's pretty upbeat, but it's more, but like it gets to a point where it's like there's certain like verses and stuff, or even just like half of verses, or even like just lines where it just gets eerie.
Yeah.
It's like when it gets real quiet, and he's like, and it's telling you like fill up your lungs, like look, new hands, new throat, new living tissue, and then it goes right back into the dun dun dun, dun like into the very like hard, like
Yeah.
guitar, like
Yeah, really, really hard beats.
yeah, not guitars, just beats in general. And Touchtone Telephone is just like funky. That's the only way I could describe it.
It's poppy.
Poppy, yeah, that's what I would call it. Ba 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 ba.
Touchtone Telephone also has a lot of my kind of stuff, where just
Mhm.
weird like occulty stuff.
Yeah. Like, this is also stuff that like you'll the one that like reminds me the most of Touchtone Telephone later on the album is Crisis Actors,
Hmm.
because it's just like filled to the brim with like
This is where like Neil just really shows how much he's into this kind of stuff.
yeah. Like even in the bonus tracks, like some like like Eighth Wonder or stuff like that, where he just like deep dives into something
Yeah.
and is like that's cool, and then he writes music about it, and it's great.
The
Like
way Neil describes it in the commentary track is that sometimes he just goes on a wiki diving spree, and you just find
yeah,
the weirdest shit sometimes, and he just
yeah,
decides to
it's
make
like the
songs
equivalent of
about
us
it.
just watching video essays on shit,
Yeah.
just like us binge watching down the rabbit hole, like for an entire night.
Yeah.
And just being like, "Hey, remember Time Cube? Yeah, Time
Fuck
Cube,
yeah, Time Cube, bro.
Time Cube, dude." It's only in the, like those sort of moments, we're doing a wiki deep dive or just like watching a video essay or something, where it's just like even the most mundane shit becomes the best, and that's where it shines in here. Like we were on the edge of our seats, being like, "Dude, chess is so intense,"
It's so fucking intense. This
and then
is
that's
generally that's just because Frederick Knudsen is a very
yeah,
experienced and good like video essayist.
and that's just the essence of this album.
Hmm.
That's all there.
Like a lot of the weird things, like Big Cat, Space Nazis, Robert
Robert's
Stack, host of infamous show. What is it called again?
Robert Stack was
It's the one where he goes like, "No, that's wrong. Nope, wrong."
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries, which is a
And
very
then it says like, oh, Leonard Nimoy, and then
yeah.
because he did what was it called, Paranormal Mysteries, or was it like Ghost Adventures or something, the one where it talked about like ghost stuff, and it was like, is it
Yeah.
true or is it not, we don't know. But this is framed as like a late night radio, like
Yeah,
AM radio or
it's
FM radio.
phrased as someone calling into a late night radio show, and they're fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's just like a conspiracy theorist who's like, yeah, I can blow all of your minds. I've solved everything, and I got it right here. But he keeps like interrupting himself
Yeah, he's just a
to
little
clarify.
he's just a little awkward. He's just a little like does not sure because like he's figured it all out, but he doesn't know how to tell everyone about it.
Yeah. Like I think I remember in the commentary track, he's like, yeah, he's interrupting himself to preemptively like stop anything. So it's more just like before I tell you, I know what you're gonna say.
I like yeah,
And it's wrong. Like
which a lot of conspiracy theorists do.
yeah. It's like I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna tell me I'm crazy. You're gonna tell me that that's not true. But here, I have it right here. I know
Which
what you're gonna say right about that. And
which
it's
is
just that
because and
the
which
whole
is
time.
why it makes a lot of them come off as fucking nuts.
Yeah, like he like in this the words "hear me out" are said a lot,
Yeah. I've
and like
that's the one Neo posits, but he also says in the commentary track that he likes people just kind of coming up with their own ideas. He says it doesn't mean anything, just come up with your own ideas.
yeah.
And I look into a comment sections a lot. I like the interpretation I like a lot. Uh, is the one that's kind of
Oh yeah, I
taking
love doing
a
that.
more like romantic angle to this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen stuff like that where it's just like even so it's like the truth about me, the truth about you, and it's just like you're the only one
yeah, a
who would
very
understand.
this song could easily take a very shippy angle, like between a self-serious character and a very not so kind of crazy character.
Yeah, just sort of like also the fact is like and like imagine like the thing I imagine in this is just like some dude, like some conspiracy theorist who's been like compiling data, whether he's right or not, it doesn't really matter. Like the fact that like he's just been like listening to this like late night talk show host who just like probably is like, you know, charismatic or whatever, and it's basically just kind of like had a one-sided like we're friends.
Yeah.
I listen to him all the time, and then he calls in. He's like
The kind of parasocial relationship.
yeah, and like stuff like just he just tells everything, just like, but he can't because it's just like I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. I've also read theories that this is like that the person calling is from a different reality and that they're from like alternate timelines, but through the touchstone telephone, he's contacting an alternate reality, and in his alternate reality, all these things are true, and he's trying to tell the person
Like
in
other
this other
realities.
reality about it.
Yeah, so like sort of like one of this because I also read the common stuff like different interpretations like Reaganomics, or it's like Reagan from another universe or
Yeah, and I
something.
like the Reaganomics one I'll talk about because I really like that interpretation because it's
Yeah,
funny.
we'll get to that
You'll
then.
get to
Because
that.
like um in Touchstone, it's sort of like a control type thing. You know, it's like, oh, it's the universal hotline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like talking between realities and stuff like that. And um also like a lot of stuff is also repeated in this.
Mm.
You're just because I'm the right one on your AM radio. I'm the only one on your AM radio.
Yeah,
Um,
it's what adds to that like pop vibe because pop
yeah,
often just repeats a lot of lines, which helps add to like
yeah,
the which will help adds to that catchy theme that really like gets in your
and
head.
like also like the whole pop aspect. Keep repeating. It also like brings it into like this dude's crazy. He keeps repeating himself
Hmm.
and like
So like
circling back on
the
himself.
repeating is both literal and aesthetic because it is
Yeah,
pop.
yeah. Song aesthetic. We can't see it, but we can hear the aesthetic.
Yeah, this entire album is aesthetic.
Yeah, it really is. It's just audio aesthetic.
Hmm. Spook aesthetic.
And then like especially with like the whole pop thing, the bridge that he does, it's like, don't hang up yet. I'm not done. Just like as it's sort of like that whole pop thing where it's just like
I'm the right
it's sort of
one.
like
I'm the one.
yeah. It's sort of like in a lot of like those pop songs, which are usually like around like in the early 2000s and stuff like that, were very romance related. So it'd be like the bridge is like, oh, this is like the softer section or
Yeah.
something, and it's sort of like with that like romantic theory that
I really like verse 2 where where he kind of slows down. He's like, "Oh, I'm crying now. Authentic tears. They flow out of me when I think about you, because you're the only person who in the world who'd understand. Because you're the only person in the world who'd understand the meaning of this." Then he yells, "Oh my god!" and it gets back to upbeat and poppy.
it's just like what we can't really talk about is just like how it sounds, and because like even with the lyrics, how the lyrics flow with the music as well.
Hmm.
Like he'll say a line and it'll just build as he's saying it, and then just bam back to it, or just it's
Uh,
just so good. Like
there's a lot of musical jump scares.
yeah. I completely forgot about those because like
Like musical jump scares.
yeah, in this album.
Yeah, just like in Touchdown Telephone where it slows down and it just gets right back into going really fast and really loud.
Yeah, because I remember in Touchstone Telephone, it's like it goes. It's like I used to call you every day, and then it like goes right back into it.
Yeah, he just swaps like in the middle of a line.
Yeah, which is like have you seen the Alex Makuta video? I think is how you pronounce his name, about Bury the Light.
Yeah.
How like he's talking about how Victor Borgia just keeps like is able to switch like the tone of his voice to like even just like a very like smoother tone to just a yelling and like screaming his vocal cords out. And that's something that Neil also does. Like I he could be just like splicing it together, being like, okay, like recording the clips separately, because like he's the only one who sings, so he's the one doing the, like the backup vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if he's actually going from like the lower, like quieter notes to just the highest shit like that, I have to give him props.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some like vocal editing to it, but I think a lot of it is himself giving him a lot of takes.
Yeah, because I do remember him talking in the commentary track of this sometimes, like to get the higher notes, he's just yelling like as loud
Yeah,
as he can,
yeah, and the idea of
and
that's
just
funny.
like he just yelling as loud as he can, and then afterwards he lowers like the volume so it keeps like the height of the note, but it's not like drowning everything else out with him just
Hmm.
yelling.
It's a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah. Like it ends, like it both ends and begins with the whole ba 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 ba
Ba,
ba
ba,
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 like
yeah.
the acapella thing, and sort of fades in and out.
Mouth sounds, you could say.
Mouth sounds,
Yeah.
mouth dreams.
Uh,
I still remember the time I got freaked out by the by the cover, just late at night in my room. I was like, I'll listen to it again, and like it's just like sitting like big on my iPad, and I look over and his eyes are open, and I never noticed it before. So shit, because I'm like, okay, was that always like that? And then I look at every like the photos and stuff. It's like, okay, like is the cover like with his eyes closed, and then like it opens like when the music starts. So I look and it's like, no, it's always been open. I just never noticed.
yeah, because it's their mouth dreams.
Their mouth dreams.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all about Touchstone Telephone. It is the most popular song for a reason.
Yeah. As we're looking through this, I realize more and more that we can't do it justice.
No.
Like, there's no we can try. We can like go into it as much as we can, but oh man,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Also, here's something I took a quick look. Touchstone Telephone's first iteration is Ivanushka. I don't know
Oh
how.
yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
and
Ivanushka.
it is a track from 2009.
Yeah, so that means Touchtone Telephone is the oldest one at that
Yes.
point.
Oh,
Because
and because Neil is an immortal vampire internet man.
yeah, because Cabinet Man also, because like Cabinet Man has the demo in the bonus track, and so does Sweet Bod.
Hmm.
So those are both very old ones, especially Sweet Bod, which I think like sounds very different.
Yeah, but I think that's all I have to say about Touchstone Telephone.
Yeah, it's like there's something like that I think is something that happens a lot in Spirit Phone is that like the more like upbeat, like like the like Touch Telephone, the Pop Lifetime Achievement Award with just like the barrage of like music, which
Hmm.
is just great. Um, it starts out very like upbeat and stuff like that, but as you keep going, it more gets into that whole like I guess more like the horror or like spooky aspect of it,
Yeah.
especially with like Spiral of Ants and stuff like that. The only one that I can say kind of like doesn't do that is like As Your Father I Expressly Forbid or Reaganomics mostly.
The thing about Spirit Found is that it starts very kind of supernaturally, kind of spooky, very weird concepts, paranormal concepts, and around the end
Like existential.
it gets existential.
Like they're like
It gets into
like not
the
it's more of a real spooky.
yeah,
And like
it gets into the horror of normal life.
yeah, it's more the thing of like, oh, like Lifetime Achievement. It's like, oh, they're resurrecting like dead music makers, and like as like Frankenstein monsters, and like Touchtone Telephone is a crazy dude talking about conspiracy theories. Like Cabinet Man is about a dude who's also a cabinet, like an arcade cabinet. And then like it keeps going down with like I Earned My Life and like
We'll talk
like
about it when we
Spiral
get there, but
Dance.
right now let's talk about Cabinet Man.
Yeah, Cabinet Man, as we said, like the most creepy pasta esque
Yeah,
thing.
because if I saw like a creepypasta about a man who is also an arcade cabinet and he kills people, that's like I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
like Cabinet Man, like even in the first thing, it's just like the first like the first words are, um, like the day they found me, I hadn't yet been played inside my workshop behind the old arcade. The news
Yeah.
reporters reported that I died, but all my organs were living inside. Just like, yeah, the first like verse is him like, oh yeah, they found my body, but I ain't dead.
They found my dead body, but I put all my fucking organs and shit into this arcade cabinet, and now I'm
Yeah,
a dual arcade cabinet human person.
yeah, it's sort of just like, it's not like he didn't cram himself in an arcade cabinet. No, he fused himself with an arcade
He
cabinet.
fused himself through some supernatural way, or he used like horror science logic and
Yeah,
put himself in there.
because like it really does sound like one of those like creepy pastas where it's like he turned himself into an arcade cabinet. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
He did.
But like it starts out with him being turned into an arcade cabinet, and then like him slowly like descending into a madness, if that wasn't the madness already.
Yeah. Like he already started mad. He just gets worse worse as the
Yeah,
song goes on.
which is baffling. It's like, um,
I don't know how someone turns themselves into an arcade cabinet and then
yeah,
only
how did
goes
he do that
down
themselves?
and then
Like,
only goes down from there.
yeah, like how did he even do that himself? Like, how did he take his lungs out, put it in there, install them before he died?
The supernatural whatever.
Yeah. Um, like circuit board to brain. So I guess he just like put a circuit board in his brain is now like the central processing thing.
Hmm.
He keeps changing his lungs, and his heart is still in there.
Actually, I saw a YouTube comment once that there's a line later that says it's getting hard to breathe, and I saw it posited that it is not getting hard to breathe because he's dying and he's not getting quarters to his lungs because that's what his oxygen is, but it's getting
Yeah.
hard to breathe just because he has so many fucking quarters stuck in his lungs.
So many quarters stuck in his lungs, dude.
No,
Dude,
but
no,
obvious.
an arcade. Like, imagine you're in an arcade. You find, like, there was a shed nearby. Dude died. There's a new arcade cabinet there. Let's reroll it.
Wasn't there yesterday. Kind of weird coincidence, but hey,
You know, and
this arcade game seems cool though.
yeah, people like it.
I feel almost mesmerized.
And it's like, but they take out the quarters. They find the lungs. It's like, oh, are they just not taking the quarters out? What is going on?
I don't know, man.
Also, speaking of like mesmerize, Neil also was talking about how he
The song is
based on
based on
Polybius.
the urban legend of Polybius, which I think everyone knows. But if you don't, you should go watch to listen to. Uh, I think it's Larry or Gary.
It's the one that has the fancy like arcade carpet looking thumbnail,
Yeah, that one.
which is like a really good like urban. It's also like I think it isn't Polybius just a cop like a creepypasta. I mean,
Yes,
or is that more of
Polybius isn't real.
yeah, it's not real. It's a creepypasta
Yeah,
or just like an urban legend and stuff like
it's an
that.
urban internet legend, and the people
Yeah,
started. Someone started somewhere.
I think it's like one of the first like internet urban legends
Yeah, for
because that
sure.
even predated like the shit like Jeff the Killer or like Slender Man, which we even can't even call those like urban legends.
I
They're
mean,
just
Slenderman did start as an urban legend. He started the whole creepypasta thing.
yeah, yeah.
I would do an entire podcast about Slenderman because the history of Slenderman is really interesting.
Yeah, even like the aftermath, like people have like tried to kill people over
Oh
it.
yeah, murders have been attempted.
Have any of them succeeded?
No,
Okay,
not if I remember off the top of my head.
yeah, that's good. Um, but like with Cabinet Man, it's like he turns into an arcade machine, and Neil sort of puts like like how arcades like sort of rose and fell over the years with like the advent of like home consoles and stuff like
Hmm.
that into more of like just like a life cycle for this guy.
Yeah. Because, like,
Uh,
obviously, if you turn yourself into an arcade cabinet, you're going to experience the life cycle of arcade machines, which Neil
yeah, like,
mentions in the commentary track. Is like, I mean, yeah, like it starts off as horror, but like really, like downfall of arcade machines are kind of shitty.
yeah, yeah, like uh he says like, oh, like at first, like, oh, people like came from miles to play.
Yeah, because Polybius or whatever, he's having weird psychokinetic effects. A lot of mentions that like you can't win me, you can't beat me.
I won't
I
hurt you.
won't hurt you unless you cheat, and like there's
You
perfect
can't see
patient
me.
lines because I was in their minds.
Yeah. Uh, I've been, and the bridge is like, I'm happy for years and years, and only eating the occasional maintenance man, and
Which is
only
funny.
driving,
Yeah,
only driving a few kids.
this is my favorite line in the song. Just maybe they were predisposed to madness. Who knows?
Yeah. Um, and then the bridge is like, oh yeah, like it's like the bridge is half like, oh, just dropping like, oh yeah, I've like eaten maintenance mans, and like people and like kids have gone insane, and then like, and then it's just like, oh, and then like the second half of it is like, yeah, my days are here are done because there's a tiny little box they make in Japan, and pretty soon it's gonna fit in your hand,
The Game
and like,
Boy.
and verse 3 is just like the downfall.
Yeah. No, he like a group of rowdy kids break into the arcade. They
Yeah, they
beat
break
him up for
into,
change.
yeah, they use a crowbar to like to just like deface it because that's what kids do. They just
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure those kids were in for a rude surprise when they opened it up and there were fucking lungs and hearts in there.
yeah, no, apparently it says like kicking me and pushing me over, and now they see my blood on their sneakers.
Yeah,
It's like,
which has
imagine,
to be the most fucking horrific shit ever.
no, dude, imagine you're like 16, 17, right? You're just like, dude, let's go like that old like abandoned arcade. Let's go in there, just like break some shit because nobody's gonna care. We can
Yeah,
break some shit
because we're
finally. And
rowdy teens who are doing rowdy things.
yeah, let's take some quarters, and then you beat the hell out of like an old arcade machine and like kick it over. It's like, dude, let's get the quarters, and then it just starts bleeding.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah, and then it goes back into the chorus, and then it ends there. And most of like the stuff that I've seen, like the animations or whatever, is just like the arcade cabinet like brings to life and just like unleashes unspeakable horrors upon like the
Yeah,
teenagers. Whatever.
yeah.
I mean, if it can eat a maintenance man, it can probably do terrible things to these kids
Oh yeah, for sure.
and drive other kids to madness.
Just saying the words "it ain't a maintenance man" is pretty horrific.
Um, I actually I liked Cabinet Man when I first came out. I didn't like Cabinet Man all that much because like it had just come off the heels of like Touchtone Telephone and stuff like that, and then I
Mm.
listened to it more and it was like, oh, that's pretty good. And now I'm sort of like back to indifference about it. It's all right.
I think it's really
It's
good.
still great. It's still great. It's just like in the album, it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, there's
Like
there's there's
I do not dislike any song in this album.
yeah, no. When we say we don't like this one as much, it's because all of the rest of them are just fucking incredible.
Yeah, like stuff like as your father expressly forbid is good, but like it doesn't reach like the caliber of the other ones. And like
It's like
I earn my life is probably like my least favorite one, and that's just because it gets me like it messes with my head about like mortality and shit.
it's like
Which just shows the
comparing
testament of it.
yeah, it's like comparing diamonds to rubies, right?
Yeah,
Like they're both fucking extremely rare and good.
but like that one's better.
Yeah, but I like this one a lot. This one's good, but I like this one a lot.
Yeah. And then there's No Eyed Girl, which I didn't like at first. I
It
like
is
No Eyed.
it is a weird song for a first time
Yeah.
to hear. It's very odd. It's very
You
it's
know
very
what it
slow. It's
reminds me of?
very odd in its instruments.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of those like early 2000s pop songs, like those romance songs, like
Like
especially with like No Eyed Girl, like he even said in the commentary
yeah,
track,
it's like for
like the Blue
dumb
Eyed Girl,
yeah
Green Eyed Girl,
yeah
whatever.
weird songs called like Blue Eyed Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, like those like Justin Bieber types, like Shawn Mendes or whatever, who are just like, yeah, I'm talking directly to you, girl, because you're special. But like in this case, she's special, like legit, because she's like an eldritch being from another reality in another plane.
Yeah. She is a literal girl, possibly, with no eyes.
Yeah, we can't blame the protagonist. We've all had our monster girl waifus
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
point or another.
I personally, I don't think I'd be a waifu for incomprehensible outrage being where my romance ends the world. But you know,
There's actually a dating sim for that. It's like I think it's
there's a dating sim for everything.
yeah, it's where you date Cthulhu, and then one of the endings is destroy the world to get a kiss.
Yeah,
That's it.
that sounds like a dating sim. All right.
Yeah, but this is one of the more like slower, more like low tone albums. There's
Yeah.
probably a word for it. We don't know it, but
Ballad, I believe.
yeah. Well, no, ballads are like a story.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Again, we're schmucks.
Yeah, we're schmucks. The most I know is that a ballad is a story in a song. You know, like "The Devil Went Down to Georgia,"
Yeah.
and a concept album is something like Bikini Bottom, where telling a story throughout.
Hmm.
Um. And
I don't know if I ever sent it to you, but there's this person on YouTube who does really good lyric videos. And for No Eyed Girl, he has just a bunch of fucking strange, like I think they look AI created because only AI created things could create such weird, colorful, trippy pieces like that are in the
is that
background
the
of that
same
song.
one who did You're at the Party?
Yeah,
That
yeah, it's
music
the
video?
same guy.
Yeah, that one.
I think it's like lava lamps and shit in the background.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I might have seen it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, but that guy did a really good one. You should probably if you look up a No Eyed Girl lyric video, it's the one that looks like it has lava lamps and shit in the background.
Yeah. But No Eyed Girl is about some dude finding like an eldritch like being girl
Yeah,
question mark
Eldritch alien
with no
species
eyes.
being.
And it's just like the first part of the album is just like knowing what we know, knowing what we don't know. This is gonna change our world. Feeling how I feel, I'll accept the unreal if you'd be my no-eyed girl. Basically,
Yeah,
just like, bro, this is so crazy.
yeah,
What we know and what we don't know are being like thrown out the window right now because
yeah.
of
Like
this.
from the
But I
moment.
feel love, so that
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
guy has taken the "don't stick your dick in crazy" and thrown it out the fucking window.
Yeah, and like it's like from nowhere mankind can go. There's too much light, blinding white. Your matter tells mind to scatter.
Yeah,
It's all right. It's all right. Just being like, yeah, we're not supposed to. We're not like we can't exist in your realm.
yeah.
Like just talking about like all these like mind bending stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like there's too much light. It's all blinding.
Yeah, like
And like
from the moment that we met, I've been awake like I've never been awake in all my life.
if I spoke your language, I could tell you how I feel, but your language isn't
I like that one a
real.
lot. Cause just that it's a very simple line that implies so much that your language isn't real.
Yeah.
This song also features an "Oh no."
Oh yes, you cut out when you said "oh no." It's like
Oh no.
oh no, and
Oh
then there's
no.
also lines like "I might go insane if I learn your full name."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like both the fact that he's ignoring like the irreparable damage that this is going to do to their world and their reality, and the fact it's like he's also just ignoring all these red flags about himself. It's like, man, I'd go insane if I ever learned your full name. You know, like I can't like do any like I can't go to your reality.
And
Like,
like
man, if I could speak your language, but you know, it's not real.
yeah. And the song ends when he finally gets to kiss the girl, but when he does it, fucking molecules existed when there should have not been there.
Chemical reactions on the surface of your skin. Some will say my actions let the no-eyed people in. So basically, just made like a Lovecraftian apocalypse. Just
Yeah,
like kisses like monster girl waifu.
but you know what? He'd do it all again.
The outro is just a repeat of "I do it all again. I
And
do it all
and
again. I do it all."
and I respect the hustle.
Yeah.
You gotta respect the hustle for someone who's willing to destroy the human race.
Oh, of course. And then after No Eyed Girl, we have When He Died, which is the most like explicit horror song on the
This
album.
is this is
Like without question.
when I was listening to the album for the first time, in that like after school program thing. This is the song that where I because like every song from here on, like there's two really good upbeat ones, and I was already getting tired from doing my work. And
Mhm.
No Eyed Girl also just kind of put me a little bit sleepy. But
Yeah,
when
because it has
fuck
more like a dulcet tone.
yeah, yeah, which like is not like I'm not saying anything about it. It just got me sleepy in that moment because I was
Yeah, yeah.
doing
It always
I've been
would.
yeah because I've been doing work at that point for like an
And
hour.
like your after school and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but but when fucking When He Died starts, it's fucking like oh boy what.
Like you just get creeped out that your blood starts like pumping, and you just sort of like wake up, just like something feels off, but there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Like it's just the music. Like whenever we get to Bikini Bottom, probably like another episode or something.
Hmm.
Um, like stuff like when we were listening to that, like there are tracks in there, like in like the middle, like the middle or like towards like the middle like end of the album. There's a lot of like creepy tracks in there out of nowhere, and they're really good.
Yeah.
But like at that point, just like sometimes like I just can't listen to them because I'll just get like too creeped out.
Like yeah, like the in When He Died, like do do do
Yeah,
do do.
it's like this. Was it? Did you say it was a xylophone or piano? I think it was a
I think
xylophone.
he said a xylophone of some sort,
Yeah,
or like
and
some sort of really weird piano. I think.
yeah, and like it just it's that like whimsical thing you hear at, like a carnival or like an ice cream truck, but it's just off and like warped, and it just makes it all the creepier. Especially like when he got like a laughing track, which is just like a record
Yeah,
of like
there. This is a
laughing.
very infamous like record of people laughing
Yeah, it
from
was like from the
way back.
20s.
Yeah,
It was from the
which
20s, and
means
you're
all
supposed to
these
play it
people
at
are
a party.
fucking dead.
Yeah, you're supposed to play it at a party, and then it would like get the party going. Like, oh, let's
Cause,
laugh.
cause the 40s were weird like that.
Cause the 20s, everybody was on
20, cause in
opium.
the cause 20s everyone was fucking weird and insane.
Yeah, everybody was weird, insane, and high.
High off their fucking mind on opioids.
Yeah, high and drunk as shit. And like,
Booming 20s, baby.
it gets really creepy. And so like, that's what it is. He didn't edit it really at all,
Yeah,
and that's just how it sounds. And it
this
sounds
is
so
how it
creepy.
is, and it's fucking horrifying.
And like, it starts up when he died, and he
It's just an increasing build up. It's just an
yeah
increasing build up of fucking Neil says it in the in the commentary track that he is the mysterious corpse to outdo all mysterious corpses. He wanted his death to be the most mysterious of them all.
yeah like a couple things that happened in the song. Like in his mansion, hundreds of people's skulls.
Hundreds.
They never found his own skull though.
Never
He just
found his own.
and there are strange symbols on the floor underneath his corpse. The
Investigators said the wood was scorched.
They found so many scorpions in his lung, and the statues of his missing children cried what was later found out to be his blood.
Yeah, that was a fucking
He died on a dark and stormy night. They telephoned his wife,
who reacted with delight.
and gradually her voice began to fade to nothing, and then the laughing record played, and then like the laughing record plays.
Yeah, it's weird how they specifically it says the laughing record played.
Yeah, and then it plays. They found a message etched into his spine that said, "When he died, an endless age of untold nightmares would be night,
And the
and
blood.
the blood would make the seas run red."
I think verse 4 is really when I was listening to it, I got a genuine fucking chill down my
Oh
spine. It's
yeah,
like, oh my god, it's the best. It's the best twist, right? Because like
yeah,
this entire song is kind of a story, and it ends on a fucking twist.
yeah. When he died on a dark and stormy night, a nearby shed caught fire. It simply caught alight. And when they cleared the charred wood from the ground, inside they found a painting of a clown, a creepy painting of a clown. He'd painted it when he was just a child, but scrawled upon the back was exactly when he died, and then it goes back into like the whole
The
like very bombastic like
he yells died too. Like the build up
yeah.
to it by Neil is really good. Is like, and the piano in the background is when exactly when he, and then he screams died. It's the
And then
best.
and then the outro just repeats when he died.
It's the best. It's so good.
Yeah, like if you're ever if you're listening to this album in like a different context, like say you're like in like say you're home alone, like you're like all the lights are off in your room, you're just sort of listening to it, and you listen to this, like there might be times where you get like chills up your spine, and like where you feel like the album, like the album gets to you, like because like as if like people get into music, like they feel the vibe of it, and then like you feel that, and it's like anything could be like around these corners and these shadows.
What really
That's
helps when he died is that it is like No Eyed Girl is what is before it,
mm-hmm.
which and
And
you're already in that strange kind of mood.
yeah, it's sort of like a half romance, sort of like ethereal sort of mood.
Yeah, like this weird like eldritch horror kind deal, and you go into when he died, and this is
Yeah,
the
sort of like you're floating through No Eyed Girl, and then just and then like you like land and hit the ground in like this unfamiliar like haunted house type thing with
the way I like to imagine when he died is like just like two investigators kind of coming into this house and finding all of this progressively as the song goes
yeah,
on.
no, imagine me and you being called in. It's like, hey, we
Uh-huh.
need you to investigate this, and it's sort of like that Resident Evil type thing. Like say Resident Evil 7,
Uh-huh.
like if like Ethan like had a dude with him, and you're just looking around and all this stuff's going on. It's like, dude, we should get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, how are we gonna get out of here with all this shit going on? And then it's just like that, like Ethan the entire game is just like, it's like, okay, to get out of here, I have to like do all of this crazy shit and kill all of these monsters to even get out.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like you could put this into a game and no one would really blink an eye.
mm-hmm. It's like if me and you were walking up to a mansion and be like, we find a dude without a skull, and there's skulls all over the wall.
And none of them are his own.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I guess we're dealing with just like a massive.
I guess we die tonight.
Yeah, I guess we died, and like at that point, it's like when you see a whole bunch of like skulls that you don't just run out the door and call for backup. Like I don't know how you do that, and they kept going. They look at it, and it's like, oh, shit, scribbled on. Is this some like satanic cult shit? Is this like the day? Is this the day that like the world ends? Are we in some sort of like indie horror
Jesus,
game?
Call of Cthulhu now. Oh god.
Is it that one game where it's like, oh yeah, we EMT was called there, and you're the EMT going through and seeing all this Cthulhu stuff?
Yeah, fucking
Dispatch, I think it was called.
Dispatch, yeah, that was
Um, the one I played and I got scared with.
it. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know where else to like. But I guess like man-made object. We could also talk about like, or at least in this, we could talk about like anatomy. That shit.
Oh yeah. Anatomy's really good. I like anatomy.
Dude, anatomy is incredible and probably one of the scariest things I have ever played or seen.
I think anatomy is genuinely one of the best horror games.
Yeah. And like even after that, there's like Jacob Geller's like video essay about it and like stuff like it, where he mentions Control and like a book called like House of Leaves, I think. And I'm like, I have to get my hands on that book at some point.
Yeah, House of Leaves is a fucking weird trip.
Yeah, because I'm like, it sounds so cool, especially after playing Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
And like it like with when he died, it's sort of like that kind of vibe where it's like the house itself is like this own thing, like the body in question, and like like the circumstance surrounding his death is also there, but like the house all like contains all that, like everything is in there.
Like
And it's like
everything was set into emotion by his death.
Yeah, I like. I just imagine like if this is just some like Saw shit, like 2,100 IQ brain type shit. Where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna write these symbols, right? You're gonna
Fucking.
cut off my head, and then you're gonna run with it and throw it into the ocean, and then you're never gonna speak to me again. Like he's talking like a Craigslist dude that he hired. It's like, you have no connections to me. You say nothing.
This
Okay,
is
so
this
you
is
take my
some
blood.
this is some jigsaw shit.
It's like, you take my blood, you put it in the statues, right? Then after a while, the seal on it will erode, and then like it looks like they'll cry, and then I want you to burn down that thing, and then when you go through, I want you to be careful about this. Put the painting in there, all right? And then take the time that I died, right? Write it on the back of it. Like this could be just like this whole like 200 billion IQ play, but like there's no way that it could be.
No,
There's no way it could be explained like that.
because his lungs were filled with scorpions.
Yeah.
It's fucking like you can't do anything about that. That's just you can't do that.
And then after when he died, we go right into like a pop
Oh yeah,
sweet.
my favorite thing about when he died is that it goes right into Sweet Bod, which is an intensely and deeply sexual song.
Yeah, like Neil talks about this. Like a lot of his songs, like are like different songs, like No Eyed Girls, like oh, like Blue Eyed Girl, Green Eyed Girl, Brown Eyed Girl, whatever you want to say, like those sort of love songs. So is Sweet Bod,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's like this dude like fetishizing a body, not like because like fetishizing doesn't exactly mean in like a sexual sense in most cases. And but like he has to specifically states like it's not sexual. It's completely
It's
confessional.
it's not sexual. It's purely confectional.
Yeah, and he says that like a ton of times. Like the pre-chorus is it isn't sexual. It isn't sexual. Strictly confectional. Strictly confectional.
It
Strictly
isn't
medicinal.
sexual.
Strictly medicinal. It's not. It's if a little non-traditional.
No.
This is also a product of another one of those wiki deep dives of Neil finding about the mellified man,
Yeah.
which is old like snake oil medicine. Which apparently you're supposed to. So this dude is about to die, whatever. And then there's this agonizing process where you get this dude to eat nothing but honey until he's basically just like shitting honey and nothing else. Like it's
Yeah.
just passing through him, and like all it's in him is honey. And then like so all of his internals are just honey, and then like he dies because of it, and then you cover him in honey and place him into a sarcophagus, and then in 100 years you dig up his body, and now it's a confection that can cure any like disease.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it true? Probably not.
no, definitely not.
Did it ever happen?
Maybe,
Probably not.
probably not.
Probably not. But you
Probably
never know.
like one dude in like ancient China or something had to have. Like we don't know.
Like at least like a fucking finger dipped in honey for a couple hundred
Yeah.
years.
Like he also says like more so this is like oh like that like very it's like a very sexual song.
Yeah,
No, it
it
like
is deeply and uncomfortably sexual.
yeah like your sexy sweet cadaver, your sexy sweet solution.
I
Um
think I think I think it's the greatest start because it starts like with that boop 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 boop, boop, that
yeah
it's that thing, it's that sound of like a sexual song, like the stereotypical things are getting sexy kind of
like the
song.
jazz type
Yeah.
stuff. Oh,
And like it's like your body is so sweet now, baby. I'm saying trick or treat now. You know I've got to have you. Yeah. And like it starts like oh, I'm okay, Neil. I don't really feel that comfortable about you flirting with me, but
your
it's all right.
body's
And then immediately after the I got to have you is your sexy sweet cadaver.
yeah. Your body's starting rumors of mason jars of sweetness whose satisfied consumers have often claimed to witness some sexy shrinking tumors. A
Uh, the,
sweet return to
the sexy
thickness.
shrinking tumors. The sexy the way he says it. The way he says it.
I know it's so. They're just $100 or so. You know, it is sexual, strictly professional, entrepreneurial. Oh, what a sweet memorial. Won't you do anything else?
I'm pretty sure the song is kind of parodying the idea of like these all these like miracle cures, these like self
Yeah,
cure,
like
like
snake
these
oils.
snake oils, like fucking like what was it like it's kale will fucking heal all your
Oh yeah,
ailments.
like people drinking like raw water in
Yeah,
California for a while.
yeah, and I've seen an ad on YouTube. I'm some fucking asshole, but like it's like I live a healthy lifestyle, and when my friends ask me what I do, he like whips out a fucking like bottle of like dirt, straight up dirt. It like fucking says, yeah, I put dirt in my water, mix it around, I drink it, and I'm perfectly healthy. Never been healthier. Such a
Yeah,
fucking scam,
I know, right?
and
It's
it
just like
just reminds me of this.
it does, which is the funniest shit. Where you're just like looking at some like soulless like pyramid scheme like health marketing thing, and then you're just thinking, it's confectional, so
Yeah,
that's sexual.
purely confectional.
And then at the very end, he says, "Won't you be my panacea?" Which is like a mythical cure-all.
Yeah.
Like, like I think it's like ancient Greece. I think where it's like some mythical like miracle like drink or something, sort of
Yeah,
like a
Panacea was
potion
the
or whatever.
Greek god of universal remedy.
Yeah, yeah. And then it just goes, sweet bod. And then at the very end, it just goes, sweet bod.
Sweet bod. It is a sweet bod.
Sweet bod is very
Would you
good.
eat a mellified man, Jago?
No, no. Oh no, oh no.
Oh no. I don't know
There's,
though. Like
would you?
mm,
Just to do
mm,
it?
like like
No,
you
no.
gotta know.
If you're gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna eat it, then you better be willing to eat it.
Like you gotta know. Like would it gouge, you know? Like if you put a fucking spoon in there.
Like, I think it would just preserve it, because like, honey's a preservative. It would, and like, it would cut off all like oxygen from getting to it to rot it. I think, or like, and bacteria as well.
Yeah, but
Oh,
like it
got it.
would it seep in?
I don't know. It would definitely seep in after a while. Like it would like become like waterlogged in honey.
Mm. Then maybe that's why it would taste good then.
No, but like you're eating like dead flesh. I'm like an old dude, right?
Yeah, but it might taste sweet.
Yeah, of course it'll taste sweet. It's honey. It's pure. It'll taste just like honey.
Maybe, but what if it's
No,
got a certain taste to it though?
no, no. Let me tell you what. We could put a hot dog, right? Put it into like a container, fill it with honey, right? Put it away for like a couple weeks, right? Then we like pre-cooked hot dogs, right?
Hmm.
So it's not like we're just eating it raw. We leave it there for like a month,
Actually,
maybe more.
no. I feel like the best way to test this would be because like cannibals have stated that human flesh is most similar to veal.
Veal.
Yeah.
Are we actually gonna like get veal? Get like a thing of veal, put it into like a jar of honey, let it sit for months, maybe even like a year or two, then come back to it and try it. Is that what we're gonna do? Because
But
I would.
all I'm saying is that
No,
if someone came up to me with a mellified man and said you could have this for free, I would take a bite.
like, I mean, like at that point, you gotta at least try. Just like
You
I
gotta
try it.
know. You gotta know.
I don't think I would be able to do it.
Someone gave their life for this shit. You gotta know.
But we really, to someone, maybe us, should try that veal idea
Maybe.
and just see, because maybe having like honey get into the meat and like waterlog it, so it's basically just filled with honey. Maybe that's like the best. Maybe, but nobody's tried it.
Maybe it's like secretly the most incredible cooking technique.
Yeah, maybe like it actually has like natural healing properties, like chicken soup or something.
Maybe it'll
No,
fucking
no,
cure cancer.
maybe, no. We just put a bunch of veal in like different like jars of honey, just so we get more of a sample size, and then maybe we like grill some of them. We smoke some of them. We maybe smoked mellified veal is the best in the world, right? Maybe, maybe
Maybe. We might be on to something.
we may be on it, dude. Because like honey smoked ham,
Yeah.
that shit is great.
Is this just like fucking more intense version of
I guess
honey
so.
smoked ham?
I guess it'd be just like an incredibly sweet like meat, and then we can like smoke it or spice it or something.
Honey drowned ham.
We'll call it like a mellified ham.
Yeah.
Could that just adds to it? But what's next?
What Eighth Wonder?
Eighth Wonder, which I think is also a very old song.
I think so.
Hold on, let me check. Originally released on Almanac 2009. Yeah, more than 6 years before Spirit Phone.
Mm-hmm.
So 2009. That's probably like when like, Touchtone Telephone as well came out.
Yeah,
Like, at
I
least,
know about the eighth wonder of the world, because I've done research on it.
yeah. So have I.
It is as the song says, it's a like invisible ghost mongoose that haunted a family for
Well,
like.
no. So basically, they were like, okay, is it a poltergeist? Is it like a ghost or something or whatever? There's also been like talks of like maybe like the girl was just like a ventriloquist
A
who was
really
able to
good
like
one.
throw her voice around. And like even as Neil says in the commentary, it sounds like something like a little girl would make up, like a child would make up, and not
Uh-huh.
knowing that it sounds crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like also the fact that it's something as stupid as a mongoose kind of lends credit to the possibility. Like, no
Well, no,
one would come up with this lie and call it a mongoose.
I don't think it's even that they claimed that he was a mongoose. It was just that they just saw a mongoose around,
Yeah,
so it's like, oh, maybe that's him.
maybe it's the mongoose.
And like a lot of the lyrics in this are pulled like from like quotes in the wiki, like the first verse even like extra clever earthbound spirit ghost in the form of a mongoose. Like he calls himself extra clever and an earthbound spirit and like ghost in the form.
Yeah,
I have hands, I have feet, I'll never die, I'm a freak.
yeah.
He says that a lot as well.
My absolute favorite verse is verse 2, where it says, "Thou wilt never know what I am. I am the fifth dimension, and I'll split the atom."
Yeah, which like
'Cause it's so intense.
yeah, and apparently like around that time the atomic bomb was also being developed,
Oh
and like
yeah.
so like
It's so intense. It's so fucking intense for no reason, and I love it.
and if you see me, you're paralyzed, pillar of salt, you're mummified.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm here. I'm living in the wall. I know I might be small, but I am the eighth wonder.
It's such a weird song.
And he
I
also
think.
says, like, this is also a quote. I was born in 1852 in India, and I shall haunt with such weird noise and clanking chains. And then it goes, I'm here, I'm living in the wall. I am a freak.
Something I've noticed is like a lot of the things this manga says are really weird.
Yeah.
Like none of it feels like something a child would make up, right?
Yeah, like there's also like stuff like, oh, like the child started this, and then like the families like we can run with this. Like maybe they were saying shit. But yeah, like I'm paralyzed pillar of salt. I'll split the atom. Like a child like saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I shall haunt with such weird noise and clanking chains. I was born in India in 1852.
It's such a weird real life event.
Yeah, and like, um, what do you think about all of it? Like the real life event.
It's an interesting real life event. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
However, I am an incredible skeptic and do not believe that it is an actual like ghost thing.
Yeah. Especially with like the family, how like they did like interviews with the family and stuff, and it's probably like, yeah, the family like probably was like, oh, this kid is like saying kid stuff. Maybe we can turn this into something.
Hmm. It reminds me of that woman way back in medieval times, where she had a like a chicken that would lay golden egg, not golden eggs, eggs that were
Oh yeah, I know this
carved
one.
with the word of God or whatever. And
Yeah, and they
what
would
was
say
actually
stuff
happening is that she'd take the egg, use a special form of acid to write
to
onto
like
the egg,
etch into it.
and then just shove the egg back into the chicken's ass.
Yeah, right before like she brought it out to lay the eggs
Yeah.
again.
Interesting fun fact about that lady. When she died, when she died.
When she
Yeah,
died.
I don't know if she was executed or if she just died naturally. But when she died, they took strips of her skin and
No, she was executed because I remember this. They took parts of her as like, oh, she's a witch.
yeah, they
Like
took
with like
parts
the
of her
witch
skin,
shears.
like dried them and used them as like little like fucking keychains and shit.
Yeah, just like, oh, here's the crazy witch lady, and then
Which is, fucked up.
yeah, like I mean, the standards for witches back then was not high.
The standards period back then were not high.
Yeah, I mean, like people just like my crops ain't growing. It's my neighbor. She's a witch.
That's a bad one.
You know what one of my favorite quotes is.
Uh,
I forget the dude of it. It's like I think it was like a Benedict, like some sort of like cardinal in like the church or something, or maybe even the Pope himself. I think it was the Pope at like one time during the medieval era. He's just like, we have no reason to like seek out and execute witches as they have no real power. Yeah, and I remember Neil saying that Eighth Wonder was I think like the last thing that he did at like his parents' house, like because he had that old, um, what's it called? That old like music video he did in like I think he said like in the woods behind his parents'
mhm,
house.
mhm.
And like that was the last thing that he did there. And it's sort of like a touchstone for him, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense on why it would be.
Yeah. Um and now there we get into Ancient Aliens.
I will say though, I personally I think Eighth Wonder is the weakest song in the album.
I can see why you'd say that. Um I still like it. Like I have ones that I would place below um Eighth Wonder, but I will say that Eighth Wonder is probably like lower on the tier list for me.
It is it is the most likely song I would skip on re-listening to the album.
At the end of these like podcast episodes, do you want to like make a tier list and like order each of the songs in the album to our personal preferences
Maybe,
and like post it up there? That'd be fun.
maybe.
Because I've
We'll see how we're feeling by the end of this.
I've seen Spirit Phone ones where you can where you can do that.
We'll see where we are by the end of this.
Now we're on to Ancient Aliens, which I didn't get Ancient Aliens because I just like at the time of the night that we were like listening to it in Minecraft. I guess I just like tune out for a little bit. But Ancient Aliens is actually really good.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I like Ancient Aliens a lot, and I also like the idea of it.
Yeah. Which is caveman, like is like aliens, like something happens to an alien spaceship, so it lands on like prehistoric Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and like the caveman is just like, I don't really understand you, so I don't like you, and I'm not gonna help you.
It is the most terrifying thing, because like to us, aliens are kind of scary because they're things we don't know about and they could do anything to us.
Yeah,
To a
for a caveman,
caveman, they have literally no frame of reference.
no, for they are like magic wizards who are going to like they it's like their reality is crashing down um like even in the intro it's like my mind's this cave so dark, no moon, no stars, no sound, just hearts and walls of art. Like saying it's like yeah, his mind is just like is primitive, like there's nothing in there, it's just like, cave art, like
Yeah.
emotion, like that what he knows. Like strange things happen for no reason.
Like to
Like
him,
that's
it's
all I know.
impossible to understand this.
And like in verse 1, it's like strange thing happen for no reason. That's all I know. My mind's this cave, so dark, no moon, no stars, no sound, just hearts and walls of art. Which is
Mhm.
just like, yeah, like lightning strikes. He doesn't know what the hell is going
The
on.
fuck
He
is
just knows what he
that?
knows. It's like, yeah, things happen all the time. It's like, but he just, in the second verse, like these creatures I've seen, some of them are edible, some of them mean, which is like actually when like the music starts to pick up and it's actually like a real good bop. It's like
Mhm.
some of them edible, some of them mean.
Yeah, and some of them edible, some of them mean is like really going into like how this is the limit of the comprehension of the being
Yeah,
at
it's
the
like I
time.
can eat that animal.
I
That
can I
one.
eat this or will it attack me?
Yeah. And it's like that's all I know. And it's like I'm not like you. You fly. What the hell's
You
that?
burn my eyes, my eyes.
You speak in my mind. Your kind all died when you arrived. So it's
Yeah.
sort of like it's sort of implying that like it was like a spaceship crash.
Mhm.
Especially when like I saw you make fire. Strange things happen for no reason at all. Like even like he doesn't know about like fire that much yet.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like, but it's like you made fire. How?
The fuck
And
is
it's just
that?
like it's just like I can't help you. You're not human. You're not an animal. My mind's this cave, so dark, no moon, no stars, no sounds, just hearts and walls of art. And you fly. You burn my eyes. You speak in my mind. You seem surprised that I don't hear you.
Yeah, that one's really weird though. What does that mean?
Yeah. Um. I guess it's just like the fact that he's so primitive that like he's trying to communicate with him, but he just doesn't get it because he's so primitive that like his language or whatever doesn't even reach through.
Like perhaps it's like you know how like for like people who report alien abductions, they say that they could hear the alien speaking in their mind, but they can't possibly comprehend what it's saying. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm looking
alien.
at it right now. Alien abductees frequently report that aliens communicate with them through abstract feelings and thoughts rather
Uh,
than words. The caveman who tells the story in this song cannot even respond with words nor understand what the alien is trying to tell him. It's just like it's both the parts like he physically can't. He doesn't have like the
it's fucking like it's entirely possible that like maybe Earth was visited by aliens, but they came too early. They
yeah,
came
but
too early.
yeah, but it's also not the fact of like, oh, here's the history of the History Channel. The aliens totally built this pyramid. No, it's not that.
No, it's just like they
It's like,
came, they found a fucking monkey man, and they literally nothing that we could have done.
yeah, like that. That's sort of like it's called Ancient Aliens, and like Neil was obviously like, oh, what if it just like how you said, like, what if they just came? There's nothing we could do.
Yeah, what if
Like
it's not
we
what
couldn't
if
even
it's not this
comprehend.
like silly idea that they came and built the pyramids for whatever fucking reason. Instead that it's that they came way too fucking early and we were a bunch of monkeys.
Who like couldn't even fathom, and like it's also the part of he both can't comprehend and like help, but he also doesn't want to because he can't comprehend it.
Because you're
Like he doesn't.
scared. Because
Yeah,
your mind is this cave. You're terrified of this weirdo thing.
yeah. You're terrified of whatever's outside the cave, and his mind, it's something that like is outside of that comprehension for him,
hmm
and he's scared and doesn't want to deal with it. Um,
It's just kind of scary in an existential way.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's still goofy. Like it's like, oh, it's a caveman and an alien, but it's also
Yeah.
like weirdly grounded.
Yeah, it's
Like
re-
especially with like the type of music in that.
it's really grounded in how you're seeing it from the caveman's perspective.
Yeah, and like it's just so existential. It's like, what if, man? Bro, what if, man? Dude.
Bro, could you imagine, bro?
And then it goes from ancient aliens into just the insane sort of like touchtone telephone, soft fuzzy man.
I fucking love Soft Fuzzy Man.
Yeah.
Like whenever
Um
you first listen to Soft Fuzzy Man, you like whenever I first listened to it, I thought it was like, is this Bigfoot? Is this Bigfoot
yeah, I
looking for a date?
no, because like there's a couple of songs in here with the same thing of like Sweet Bod and like Reaganomics later, and what was the other one that had, and like No Eyed Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like Neil has a couple of songs in here that deal with romance and like sort of like preconceived romance notions, like like Sweet Bod's whole about like the whole like sexy music, that sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing, like sexual music, and then like No Eyed Girl is like it's like, oh girl, you're special, you're that whatever
And
eyed girl.
and Soft Fuzzy Man is about dudes being creepy sometimes,
Yeah, no, I think he said in the commentary, it's like dudes who think being mysterious is attractive and cool,
and it just comes off as creepy.
but it's in a literal sense of he's a cloud of smoke, man.
Yeah,
And
literally
like,
a wisp.
we'll also talk about this in like with Reaganomics later. It's like in Reaganomics is the same other thing where it's like, yeah, girl, I'm a smooth talker. I'll promise you the world. I can help you, girl. Like that sort of thing. And like, Soft Fuzzy Man is like, it even starts out like, oh, like, let me float your way. Please don't ignore me. It's like who both is like, oh yeah, I'm that cool, mysterious dude, but also like insecure and kind of like trying too hard about it.
Uh-huh.
But then you realize he's actually just like a lonely, like smoke monster.
Yeah, he's literally the smoke man.
Yeah, what you girls really need is a soft, fuzzy man, an ambient man, a trick of the light to love you tonight. You don't understand. There's nothing quite like a soft, fuzzy man. And I remember that Neil, that him and his wife now call their cat a soft, fuzzy man.
He's yeah, it does kind of describe the attitude of a cat.
It really does. It's like, can't you see me? Why can't you see me? I'm all around. I'm cold and dreamy.
I like the a wisp of smoke man followed by to waft over you and cloud up your view. Just
Show me your hands and wave them right through a soft fuzzy man. It's just like, oh, is there something? Is it's like a cloud around me? So it's trying to like wave away the cloud.
what's up with this fog?
Yeah, although I have no arms to hold you in. A human passion burns within. I need to feel like I exist. So please, baby, step into the mist.
Yeah,
It's like
bro.
begging, like with desperation.
He says
Don't
like
leave.
that's followed by a yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
really
it's like,
great.
and then the other verses are sort of just like, yeah, I'm a mysterious man. I'm not like other guys, which is like, don't be nervous. I'm not like other guys who have a surface.
I think my favorite line is a shimmering puff of indistinct love.
An atmospheric man. What's better than a vague embrace of a soft fuzzy man
Vague
who's
embrace.
and then the outro is sort of just like, is he just like poisoning these women? Just
Oh
like
yeah.
who seeps through your thoughts?
I think I told you about it. I remember seeing a comment like, is this man like a poison gas of some sort? Like carbon
Yeah,
monoxide?
it really probably is like carbon monoxide who seeps through your thoughts, who makes you see spots, who blows through the air, who plays with your hair. Once you go hazy, you'll understand.
You're soft, fuzzy man.
Yeah, like it really does feel like like carbon monoxide poisoning in that regard,
Yeah, yeah.
or at least some sort of poison.
Yeah, the makes you see spots specifically.
Yeah, which might be even just sort of like Neil saying, it's like, yeah, dude, like mysterious dudes are just like shit dudes.
Overall, overall, someone get the soft fuzzy man a GF. Like so maybe you get the no-eyed girl, you know?
Yeah, maybe get the No-Eyed Girl. He's not really physical form, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
like it'll be fine.
Or maybe get like a Mrs. Smoke Monster or something. Maybe do some like Bride of Frankenstein shit. And
Yeah.
then after Soft Fuzzy Man is As Your Father I Expressly Forbid It, which at first is like just pretty goofy.
Yeah, it starts as like it's like turn your techno music down.
Yeah, sort of like the dads during like the 80s or the 90s, like the stereotypes, like
I
turn your
like
like
yeah
techno and
this
metal music down.
like as your father expressly forbid it is like part one of a two-part song.
Yeah. And like the second one is really depressing.
Yeah, like you like without having the pre-context of as your father expressly forbid it, you cannot really like appreciate I earned my life as much.
Yeah. Cause As Your Father Expressly Forbid It is like more as like the from the perspective of like the kid than the dad. Um it's just like the dad is yelling at like his son for just like doing stuff. because like I guess he's like, oh, you're a punk kid.
Yeah.
He just like yells at him for no reason or whatever. Like, oh yeah, turn your techno music down. Your grandpa's coming tonight. I don't want to hear it. We'll be having macaroni. Be polite when he's here tonight. Don't talk about the internet. Your grandpa doesn't understand. You will not bring your Game Boy or whatever to the table. Do you understand? He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. And then it's like, I, as your father, I expressly forbid it, is the chorus.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what happened to my medicine? The stuff I used to keep my hair. It's obviously you stole it and sold it on the street because you don't even care that I'm gonna lose my hair. It's like, you don't even care if I'm gonna lose my hair, right? Because you're just a punk kid. It's like,
it's a very dad move.
Yeah. And then like the second of this verse is just like, okay, I found my medicine. I'm sorry that I yelled at you, but let this be a lesson. If you ever do steal my medicine, I'm gonna yell at you.
I'll yell at you.
Yeah, like as Neil says, like, one, this is a horrible father figure and not his dad, and two, just like he doesn't really have any. It's just a warning that he's going to keep doing the thing that he's been doing. Just yell.
Yeah.
And then,
it's an angry dad.
And then the rest of it is literally just, as your father, I expressly forbid it.
But like Neil sings really well, and he's like, as your father, forbid it.
Expressly forbid it. As your father, I expressly forbid it. Wow. Yeah,
he does it really well.
I also, after that, I said like we should probably just talk about life, like one after the other.
Yeah,
like talking about it like together. Because it's really just like two halves of the same song.
Two halves of the same song, yeah. Because like I Earned My Life has a lot more going on.
Yeah, because like the first part is like the son sort of like perceiving what the dad like has like outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the dad yells a lot. He's like a grump. He does all this stuff. But then like I Earned My Life moves to the dad's perspective as more like an introspective type of thing.
It starts with a perfect line for what the song is about. Is like, I'll quit my job the day I die.
I break my back and never cry. I'm losing all my hair. I'm losing all my hair because a man provides. I'm standing on a chair. I'm standing on a chair because I earn.
It's like
it's a
very like breadwinner attitude.
Yeah. I earned like the course of like I Earned My Life. I learned it from my father. Teletype. Sort of like those old values of like the wife should be in the kitchen and do all the housework while I go out there, just like my father told me. And like, don't tell me not to hurry. I wouldn't be so worried if I wasn't always.
It's just such a fucking jeez.
Yeah, and then like verse 2 though, it moves into sort of like his true feelings on the matter. Like sort of like, well, they're both his true feelings, but like verse 1 and
the verse 1 and the chorus are like what he expresses outwardly.
And also the fact of like that is what he's learned,
what he's angry about, what he's learned over his life, right? Like what he
it's like, oh, this is how I'm
again.
Supposed to do it.
Yeah,
it's like, this is how I'm supposed to do it, and that's why I do it. But then in verse 2, it's like, while you're asleep, I guess to like it's referring to his family. Like, I'm terrified. I see the end before my eyes. A marker on a grave, and I know that I'm the one who died. And underneath his name, underneath my name, it says he earned his life. I earned my life. I learned it from my father, and my father never lied. Better learn to forage. Utilities and mortgage are all sort of like saying that like he doesn't really want to be like that. He doesn't want his life to revolve around him being like the breadwinner.
That like he's reached this far, and at the end of his life, all that he'll have to
remember him, all his accomplishments
will be that he earned his life.
Yeah, that he provided for his family, and that he earned, like he made money to earn a house and pay off the mortgage and stuff like that, and that's all that he would have done.
Yeah, and like the utility bills and mortgages are all that survives of him.
Yeah, that's going to be the only things that are going to like
no
keep
art,
on
no
going,
book,
even after
no
he's gone.
songs, no like memories, just the bills and the mortgages, because he earned his life.
Yeah, he earned it, but those things are still going to come. He didn't do anything extraordinary. That's all he did, and he like, it's super like existential. It's like, that's all he did.
Mm-hmm.
I wish my life was on a graph so I knew how much I have left to earn tonight. It burns too bright. I think about myself a lot because it's the only one I've got. I've earned this life. What have I done to earn this life?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that's all he's done, and it's like, how much do I have to do to like keep earning it? And like, is that all that he does?
And that he's like earned this life of like working himself to death.
Yeah, that's the life he's earned. It's just working himself to death, and that's all he'll be remembered by. That's all he's ever done.
And like this is the attitude that a lot of like men had, like for decades, millennia almost, centuries.
Yeah. And then it goes back and it's like, tell it to my wife. I learned it from my father.
And it's a
Tell me not to
repeat of
hurry.
the first verse.
And then it ends with that.
Yeah.
Sort of, and like the chorus being like reprised here is more of just like him repeating it, but in an empty sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's the song and dance that it always is. Like, even like the repetition, it's like, because it even changed, like, we better learn how to forage, utilities and mortgage are all that will serve utilities and. So we're just like repeating it, like the emptiness of it, and then just like, we can't keep doing that. Just like, we better learn how to forage because utilities and mortgage are just gonna keep coming and coming.
It's like
there's nothing we can
it's
do.
that same sort of like the looping thing that for the whole album, but in a smaller scale for
Mm-hmm.
like the daily life of this man.
Yeah.
And he'll be doing it until he dies.
Yeah, and like he's just like, it should change, like it like, but it won't. It'll just keep going. And like, especially with like how people will remember it if he's like cursing at his wife and like yelling at his son.
People will not remember him for the second verse. People will remember him for "As your father, I expressly forbid it."
Yeah.
That's how he'll be remembered by his sons until
And
he's
that's
forgotten by his son.
yeah. And like at that point, it's just like, oh yeah, your grandfather, he worked himself to death, and all he did was yell. Like, that's all it was. That all it'll be.
Mm-hmm. He earned his life.
And that's like the true existential horror of it, and that's like where we start really getting deep into that.
Yeah. Because, like, as your father expressly forbid it is when things, like, it stops being about horror and it gets into the modern horror. The horror called society that we've built for ourselves.
We live in a society. And then we go into Reaganomics,
I
which
like
is
Reaganomics a lot.
yeah, it's really good. Like,
It has
which one of
this is one
my
of the only
personal interpretations.
this is one of the only songs in the album that isn't entirely Neil.
Yeah, because it has Ronald
Because it has backing lyrics by Ronald Reagan.
backing lyrics by Ronald Reagan. What other album can say that? What other song can say that?
What other song
That,
could
like,
say that they've? What other artist can say that they've made like a fucking like one of like a traditional sort of like romance song, but for Ronald Reagan?
I know, right? And like, one of my own personal like things, how talking about how you see it in the comments, so it's like your own personal interpretations. Mine is like, besides the whole like, oh, Ronald Reagan is sort of like smooth talking his way in with a girl, air quotes, which is just the American people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as the girl in the sort of like, I'll sweep you off your feet, girl. I'm charming. I'll solve all your problems.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like a communist or like socialist Ronald Reagan from a different universe.
I'm pretty sure Neil in a commentary track just says this is like I thought it'd be funny to make a romance song but with Ronald Reagan and Reaganomics. But like looking at
Yeah,
it deeper, what it is, it's an alternate reality socialist Ronald Reagan saving our universe's Ronald Reagan from ninjas who are out to kill
yeah.
him.
By like with talk, it's like, yeah, I'll protect you.
Yeah,
Like, saving both our universe's Ronald Reagan and like just America in general.
yeah.
Like the beginning, the intro in the lyrics is credited as intro Ronald Reagan, Lemon Demon. In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the solution to our problem, which is Neil like editing an already like weird like speech
I
into even more
love the start of the
nonsensical
song
one.
because it starts with fucking Ronald Reagan. It's the weirdest thing ever, and then it just fucking cuts and it's just like, "Are you unhappy, girl, in this confusing world?" It's like, what? When the fuck did it
If
turn into a
where
One
everything you
Direction
earn is
song?
getting left to burn, if it were up to me, then living would be free, and I can give you that. I can give you that. And then it moves into the first verse, which this song very good,
It's
very
very
good.
good, very good.
Like in between the intro where he's like, I can give you that, and the first verse, there's a ton of just like really good beats.
Yeah.
The first verse like they'll take your money in their greasy hands and
They
spend your
they
money.
being
They do this.
they being capitalists.
I don't know. It's some vague enemy, which I guess you could apply to anything.
I think they is capitalist because this is Neil singing, which means it's the socialist Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. And it's like they do this to disrespect you. They take away your land. I know kung fu. I will save
I
you because
fucking
you're worth
love that
saving,
one. I
baby.
fucking love that line.
No, the chorus is amazing
Yeah.
because you're worth saving, baby. Deregulating, babe.
Deregulating, baby.
Nobody can say that they have deregulating as a lyric in their
No one
song.
could say they've said, "I'm Ronald Reagan, baby."
I'm Ronald Reagan, yeah. One thing I want to say, there, like, after you showed me this album, we then got into Dying Light pretty hard.
Yeah.
So it's just me, you, and Mike, like, just driving around in the following, and I'm blaring this in my headphones. So whenever I go back to the following and I'm driving around, I will I will get like the mental sort of like thing and just like, oh yeah, this is where I this is
Just
I can
fucking
just
running
I
over
can
zombies.
hear
Running over
I can
zombies.
I can hear the lemon demon without even trying. It's like that thing where it's like, oh, if you chew gum while like typing or something, and if you like chew gum like or like playing the piano, and if you chew gum while you're doing it, it helps you like get the muscle memory down again. It's just like that. Because I blared it every single time I played Dying Like the Following.
Just
So now
fucking,
it's just like the internal soundtrack to my mind whenever I play it.
just fucking running over zombies while yelling, "Deregulating, baby."
Or just like one of the main things is just like having You're at the Party play while you're like at night, like driving your ass off while getting chased down by virals and like volatiles.
I think I just love that Neil was able to make a song about trickle down economics and how it was a pretty bad
Dude,
idea.
it's
It's
amazing.
the best.
Who would have signed off on that
No
idea?
one, absolutely no one.
Hold on, I'll save you, honey. You'll never be. Save the business. If you love me, say you love me. That you will someday own. They hate freedom. I'll defeat them. Not like in comics, baby. With economics, baby.
I
With
really,
Reaganomics, baby. Atomic bombing, yeah.
I really love the way he sings. They hate freedom. I'll defeat. Neil sings that. He's like,
They
hey,
hate freedom.
freedom. I'll
I'll
defeat them.
defeat them. Do, 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 do. And then it goes back into the bridges. Ronald Reagan, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the solution to our problem. And, back into the Are You Unhappy Girl in this confusing world. With economics,
Economics,
baby.
baby.
What's after?
Reaganomics, baby.
Oh, after this is Man-Made Object, which is the other song that I guess I just tuned out for whenever I first listened to it.
I tried explaining the man-made object to you while it was happening.
Yeah, I now know about Man-Made Object. Which I like to have, like, I have like tooth, because I know Neil has said a bunch about it in the commentary track, but there's also like a headcanon like interpretation that I have for it. Not really headcanon, just an interpretation, which I saw like in the comments as well of one of them. Which in the commentary track he's like, yeah, it's based on those like massive colossal buildings that just like couldn't work to be built. like they've been designed, but they could never built just because like they're too big to fit on Earth, like
Yeah.
with like the gravity and like they would just fall apart.
Yeah.
And like the other interpretation part is that like this dude is just getting like eldritch instructions to build this like super structure
The thing I
of like
like
eldritch
the
proportions.
thing I like about the song is that who in their right mind would make a song about wanting to meet potential architects all night?
Yeah,
Like,
I want to be potential architects all
my
night. I want to purchase urban real estate all night. I want to study local zoning laws all night.
laws.
I want to calculate construction costs all
I
night.
love that first verse. It's the best.
I have a vision of a man-made object. I have the money. I have the means. I have the strangest dreams. I caught insomnia from
Wow.
looking at the moon. I found a picture of a rectangle I drew. I am an altogether different man by day. I have the influence to send that man far away.
Cool. I fucking
Like
love the
stuff like
the best.
continue.
I love the opening. I love the opening because this man is getting fucking he's getting eldritch visions to make this fucking weirdo shrine thing for this eldritch god, but he's gonna do it legally though.
Yeah, he's gonna
He's
do it
gonna
legally.
do it. He's gotta get like potential architects,
Yeah, like because
urban real
I think it's
estate.
both. I think it's both interpretations. The fact it's like, oh yeah, it's these impossible structures that like can never be built. They are designed, and it's like, yeah, this dude is getting eldritch instructions to build one of those
But
things.
he's gonna do it
Especially,
legally.
especially with like, Lovecraft didn't know shit about like geometry, so he's like, oh yeah, all the buildings are non-Euclidean
Mm-hmm.
when none are. So all it would have to be would be like perfectly Euclidean, I guess. But yeah, but then like it just says, I have a vision of a man made towering over all, and then just repeats that for a while.
Yeah.
I have the money. I have this means.
I have the
Strangest dreams,
strangest
baby.
dreams. Wow, wow.
I think this is one of like the like in like within lyric count. It's probably I think the shortest one. Yeah, it's the
It's the
shortest one.
shortest song, also.
Oh really? I
Yeah.
thought it was just like spaced out between stuff like that.
I
Um,
like a comment here. This is a great soundtrack for when it's 3 a.m. and you are struck with the all-consuming desire to start 6 new hobbies, learn 4 new languages, and rewrite physics twice.
it really is, isn't it?
It really is.
Um,
I
what was
just
it? Oh,
I just gotta say, I respect the hustle of this man.
you have to really.
You
It's
gotta
amazing.
respect the hustle that
This man's
he's
hustle.
learning. He's calculating construction costs.
And then after that is the final track, of the album, besides the bonus tracks.
My objectively
Heroic
favorite
Dance.
track of the album.
It's really good.
It's
It's
really
really
good.
like ethereal and haunting to me.
It's the perfect ending for such a mundane
I
phenomenon.
know, right?
Yes.
Um, so this is also one of Neil's like wiki deep dives
Mm.
where he like found like ant mills or
Yeah. Okay.
like
What
th-
happened? Well, let me. I like to explain it because I think I could explain it better.
yeah.
In nature, for ants, uh, they sometimes ants just
Well, they use
spiral.
pheromones to get around.
Yeah, they use pheromones to get around, and sometimes they start sending too many pheromones, or pheromones get confused, and they just start sending it randomly. But somehow they just get into a spiral, and because they all follow pheromones, they just walk around in this
Follow each other
spiral,
in a circle.
and it
They
turns into a
follow each other in a
spiral,
circle.
and they keep doing this until they die. Every single one dies.
Because all ants do is just release pheromones and then like follow it, including just other ants. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
like because basically they're just like following scent trails of the ant in front of them in like this big like conga line back to the nest.
And they get into a spiral, and they sometimes they just die when this happens.
No, they literally no, they don't sometimes die. They unless something else like breaks them out of that loop,
Uh-huh.
they all
Yeah.
die. Like
They're
it ends entire colonies
yeah.
because all they do is they keep going until they keel over from exhaustion.
Yeah.
But they don't really like know what to do because they're just their brains they're like so primitive. They just follow the pheromones.
Yeah.
They don't really
Yeah.
get that they're moving in circles
So
and the fact that they're going to
so
die.
in reality, this is just a strange phenomenon that can happen with ants who rely entirely on pheromones. But when you look at it in a symbolic sense, uh,
Yeah,
when you look at it
it's
in a
symbolic. It's just a
symbolic
rat
sense,
race.
yeah, it symbolized the rat race that is society,
Hmm.
the pleasures of conformity, the just fucking endless cycle of looping and working yourself to death.
Like this is a hauntingly beautiful piece in the album, especially with the way
Hmm.
he sings it and the tones that he uses.
Not once,
There are parts of the
yeah,
song.
not once does he relate anything to actual humans. Through the entire thing, it's bugs and ants, but you still get
Mhm.
exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, and there are times like in the final like pre thing, it's like they talk about like, and we became a hurricane.
Hmm.
It like it's a like at that moment the tones and also his voice, he says it in a way where just you feel like you're just floating and witnessing some beautiful and like once in a lifetime events
Hmm.
where it's
And and all the bugs who
like you're
laughed,
reaching something.
yeah, and all the bugs who
Yeah,
laughed
like
got
you're
blown
reaching
away.
something. Like you're about to reach something. Like you're about to have like that revelation where like you like at that moment it's there and you've accomplished it. And that's the entire song. It's like you're nearly there. Keep going. It'll totally work out for
It'll totally work out. You're not in the death march. It's gonna
you.
work
Yeah, just
out.
like over and over the pheromones, the overwhelming harmony, consuming the colony, the circle rules your life, you know. It's like the rat race is your life at that point.
Like verse one is a lot like how like competitive business tactics and just like all
Mhm.
that shit.
Chop, chop, don't want to be late. Lift up and carry your weight. You've got no choice but to dance in the spiral of ants. Two bugs may laugh in your face. Don't fret. You're leading the race.
Like you
Totally.
like
Totally, you're leading the race.
because
Totally.
you
Totally.
think you're the one leading this spiral, but no, you're
Yeah.
just following it like the rest
Don't
of them.
don't let the bastard step on your hands in a spiral of ants. You can't remember where you came from in a spiral of ants. You can't remember where you're going. You don't remember knowing. You are one ant. Uh the pheromones, the self-avoiding odyssey, consuming the colony, the circle rules your life. Now, don't run out of breath. Don't feel surrounded by death. Take the wheel. This could be your chance. False bugs, you'll soon be alone. See how they drop like a stone? Just like, oh yeah, those guys? I'm not
Hmm.
like any of those guys who are
I'm not
killing
like them.
over.
I won't die. I won't die
Built
from overwork like
different.
them.
I would simply intervene.
I would simply not.
You're free now forever to dance in a spiral. You now remember where you came from. Now remember to a spiral. You've got to keep it flowing. You are one ant. Over and over. Consuming the colony, creating its own gravity. Before we knew it, we became a hurricane, and the bugs who laughed got blown away, and we proclaimed the circle rule.
It's such a good song. It's such a
I
good
know.
song.
It's such a good song. Like, I think this might be like one of the best in the entire album, if not one. It may not be my favorite, but it is probably like up there at number 2. Like, the only reason why it probably isn't because I couldn't just like listen to this casually. I guess why it's not higher because it's just
It's not
that
a casual
heavy.
listening song.
Yeah, it gets you into a headspace.
Uh-huh. You gotta be you either have to be in a certain headspace or have to be willing to get into the headspace.
Yeah, which like I'm gonna elaborate on when we never get to you're at the party, but it
Hmm.
gets you into that sort of headspace where you feel some sort of like ethereal emotion.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah, like even like we became a hurricane, it feels like you're in the eye of a hurricane. Like it's that calm, but also like eeriness to it.
Hmm. Like the you got no choice but to dance.
It's like it's just like oh you've got no choice. It's more along the lines of the fact it's like you did this to yourself. You've trapped yourself in here.
Hmm.
There's no way you're getting out because you're the one who put yourself here.
Like spirals are already inherently unnerving because they're
Yeah.
not something that shows up in nature ever.
What do you mean?
Spirals.
Um, DNA, snail shells.
Yeah, but like that's not something you see very often, right? Like these things, they're things you don't see, right? Like,
Yeah, they're
you have
hard coded
there are
into
spiral.
nature.
Our DNA is spirals. We have like the spiral thing in our ears, but we
The
can't see
yeah,
that.
yeah, which is also like there's stuff for that like with Gurren Lagann, like
Hmm.
spiral energy is like the big thing, and there's also like with the anti-spirals, they're like, dude, that shit's dangerous.
That shit is dangerous.
Yeah, like you better do that right. And
That
he's like,
spiral
okay,
energy
you
is the
will do it
concept of infinity. That shit's fucking dangerous.
right. Yeah, and he's just like, dude, you will literally destroy all of like reality, cause like a second Big Bang, and start everything over from scratch. Like, you be careful with that shit. And like Junji Ito, Uzumaki.
Hmm.
Like that's one of the famous examples
That's just spooky as hell.
where like it's so spooky, just like the deconstruction of reality
Mm.
and something that you can't.
Entirely through the lens of a spiral.
Yeah, that's something you can't escape. Like you got like your ears. You can't get out of it. Your DNA spiral. You physically cannot get away from it.
Mm.
Like I remember at some points, like people are like trying to dig out the spirals and like the cochlea in their ear
Yeah.
so they can get away from it, but they can't. You have to like destroy all of your spirals of your DNA,
Yeah,
and
like
you'll just die anyways.
even in death, those people never got away from the spiral.
Yeah, I actually haven't read it.
I have.
At some point, I
It's
need to.
it's just, I wouldn't say it's a fun read.
No, I wouldn't say that. It's sort of like Berserk.
It's an experience.
Hey,
It's an
it's an
experience.
experience. All I
And
know is that it gets very eldritch at the end.
yeah, like the spiral is the eldritch concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and spiral vents, much like a spiral, loops into
Yeah, like
lifetime
it fades
achievement
out with that
award.
same white noise, and
Yeah.
then like if you have like say you're on Spotify and you loop the album, it goes right back to um to what's it called, to Lifetime Achievement Award, in which the record gets resurrected again to keep playing the music.
It's real,
But we also have the bonus tracks.
it really says a lot about society,
Society.
and yet we live in one.
Yeah, we live in one. You say peacock and no one bats an eye. But say poopcock and everybody loses their eye. So shall we go on to the bonus tracks now?
Yes, let's do that.
Which the bonus tracks are
I
really good.
Yeah, I would like to mention a lot of the bonus tracks don't have that much going on. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of backstory, but like in
It's sort of just like unfinished ideas.
yeah, because they're bonus tracks.
Mm-hmm. And like he even said like some of them are unfinished because like he didn't have that much time because he's working on the tracks, or like the album was already like not like it was already too large for him to like put more into it.
However, the songs that do have lyrics to them are really
And like are
fun.
substantial.
Yeah,
They're really good.
like Angel Fire is like a weird song about like a website, which is similar to GeoCities or whatever.
Yeah, Angel Fire is an instrumental.
Yeah, and immediately after that is Angry People, which I like just listening to sometimes because of how strange it gets
Because
to
it's
the
just
end.
apparently it's like about like a commentary on like
It's
dysfunctional
very
like
aggressive.
shit. Like to how dysfunctional
It's
people are
very
and like
aggressive.
just the anger that's around.
It is, yeah. It's literally, he says it a lot. It's people living with anger, loving with anger. Just,
It's just angry people. Like the name says, just people like even just like society.
like when a
Just
man and a woman
everybody's
hate when a man and a woman hate each other very much, they make love angrily, like birds of prey and Africanized bees, and with a little bit of luck, they will
an
conceive an
evil
evil
baby
baby.
whipped into a world that doesn't want her, screaming already, learning to walk, walking with anger.
It's all
She's
about
learning to
anger.
talk. She's learning to talk. She says she hates you. She wants you to pay for bringing her here. You've never been chased by a baby before. You secretly wish you'd never been born. You secretly wish you hadn't bought her a gun. What were
What
you
were you
thinking?
thinking? But
She
now it's
fires
too
her.
late. She fires the
She
gun.
fires her gun. Now there's a hole in your face. You hate to show weakness in front of your child, but sooner or later, everybody must die. Die by the hand of their own. We're angry people exploding with love. We're completely normal, throwing bottles at God. You did
I
this to us.
fucking,
Why
I
did you do
fucking,
this?
I fucking love throwing bottles at God. It's such a mood.
Have you ever heard of the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy?
No.
It hasn't really aged well, but it's basically like this plane is flying over Africa, and like it drops like a Coke bottle, and this like a dude in like an African tribe finds it. It's like it's a gift from the gods. They must be crazy. Title. So he just like, yeah, we must return it to the lands of the gods. So he just goes off and then chucks it off like a cliff down into some misty area,
Throwing
and then he
bottles
walks
at
away. It's like
God.
my mission is complete, and then like at the end of the movie, you see that like the fog rolls away and it's just some like random city or something.
Yeah.
He just tosses it nowhere. Um,
I,
this is probably like I guess like like how baby boomers and shit
yeah.
and like millennials are just like we're like especially like we're angry people with financial problems.
We're with financial problems.
And it's completely normal. Everything's completely normal.
It's a very lyric heavy song. It really just feels like Neil yelling at you.
Put on your glasses, get your calculator. There's too many people drinking too much water.
I like the I like
Overpopulation.
I like to go back to the throwing bottles at God because immediately afterwards he yells, "Why you did this to us? Why did you do this to us?"
Oh yeah, and then the outro is just we're angry people. We're turning into tigers, and it's like we're angry people into wolves, tigers, wolves, tigers, wolves. Tigers. It just keeps repeating. And it's like we're angry people.
I'm not quite sure why they turned into tigers and wolves at the end.
I don't know.
It's it's a
I
very
guess because
Neil
tigers
song.
and wolves are.
It's
I
a
guess because they're
very it's a
notoriously angry.
very Neil song.
Um, and then after angry people is one of the Cabinet Man demo,
Mm-hmm.
which is just Cabinet Man. So there's
Yeah.
not really much to say.
There's not even lyrics. It's just the instrumental.
Yeah. There's Cat Hacks, which is another um instrumental that he says he'd planned to like have lyrics, which is just like a bunch of stuff to do with your cat. Like
Yeah.
put tape on your cat. Now you have a like now you have like a cat in the ceiling. It's like
Like the
put a cat on your,
dumb DIYs, but with cats.
yeah, it's like put a cat in your papers. Now you have a paperweight. Like stuff like that.
Yeah. Then we get to another
Um
lyrical song, which actually has something to it.
yeah, Crisis Actors. It's one
Yeah.
of like the few ones. Um Crisis Actors.
To anyone who doesn't know, Crisis Actors is the conspiracy theory posited by people like Alex Jones and other people like that. That tragedies like school shootings, specifically, which one was it specifically?
Columbine.
I think it was Columbine specifically. That that Columbine and every other school shooting are not
And other
real.
like just natural disaster.
Yeah, but like mostly school shootings, mostly disasters that don't
Man-made tragedies.
tragedies that don't align with their political ideology.
Yeah.
All of the deaths, there weren't real people. They were all actors, crisis actors,
Pretending to die and pretending to mourn and pretending to commit the tragedies.
which is insensitive.
Yeah, insensitive, insane,
Insensitive and
crazy, a
impossible to
dick
pull
move.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's what the song is about.
it's basically just getting a peek behind. So it's like, hey, here's what we do here at the Crisis
Like,
Actor
would
Studio.
you
It's like, would
like
you
to
like to
go
go deep
deep
inside?
inside the crisis actor studio?
Would you like to see all the things they never show you on TV? It's like, and then there's the refrain of your baby's alive, your family's fine. Imagine it's a time where dinosaurs rule the earth. We can rule the earth. They've
The,
been leaving clues.
I think it really shows how Neil feels about this when he says, "Your baby's alive."
Yeah. Those who do the math have been known to end up drowning in the bath. Just like, oh yeah, people have figured it out. They're killing.
Yeah,
Um,
dead.
the names are made up. The problems are real. The future was sealed. When dinosaurs rule the earth, we can rule the earth. It's like malevolent gods are better than none. And it keeps repeating it.
Yeah,
Basically, the whole
that's sort of
part of just like,
the sort of idea that even an evil god, even an evil being, is better than than having to face the idea that there's no reason for our existence.
yeah. Um, and then just it ends with the damage is done.
Like it like for these people believing that there are malevolent forces doing this and that there is not the potential evil in humanity to commit murder on such a scale.
Yeah. The fact is just like, well, like we can't be doing all this evil,
Yeah.
so something has to be like
It's gotta
causing it.
be the devil. It's gotta be fucking Illuminati shit or whatever.
Yeah, it can't be just people being people and like doing all this
It
themselves.
can't be a couple of kids who had it kind of rough and didn't get the help they needed.
Yeah, and then so they like lost it and decided to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Um,
It's very upbeat though.
yeah, very upbeat for what it is. Then there's GeoCities, which is an
A song about
instrumental.
GeoCities.
Yep. Gravitron, which is a transition track between GeoCities and then the next
No,
track.
Gravitron was actually meant to be a like a potential opening for Gravity Falls, hence the gravity part of it.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. I
I
remember that. I
told you
remember
about
that.
this.
He also said in the commentary track as well.
He says in the commentary track, which is where we learn about that.
Mm-hmm. Which, like, as good as Neil Cicerega is, the one that, like the Gravity Falls opening we got is like
Yeah,
probably the best one.
perfect. It's perfect.
It was perfect, and I think he even said like I don't mind that I didn't get it because the one that we got is like the best that we could have got. Then there's Kubrick and the Beast. Was going to be the opening track, but he just, I guess, just sort of fell by the wayside, and he forgot. And he just,
It doesn't. I'm not even sure what it could be about, really.
yeah, because it doesn't have any lyrics. He didn't really.
Yeah, and the name itself doesn't quite help. But to be fair, none of the names really explain anything.
Yeah, but it must have been like something about like Stanley Kubrick and all like the weird shit that happens around him.
Yeah. And
Oh
then,
no, dude! Moon's Request
oh
is
no,
the this is the Gravity Falls theme song.
no,
I
there's
think.
two of them. This is the second one.
Oh, this is the second one.
Gravitron was
Hmm.
also that.
I guess it made two. Yeah, and then Pizza Heroes was an intro song for like something that did he say like his sister did or his cousin did?
Yeah, like
Some relative.
a pitch for a TV show.
Yeah, like a cartoon TV show. Redesign your logo
Oh, I fucking love
is
redesign your
definitely
logo.
yeah. It definitely feels
Let
composed.
me
I
get
think.
into this. Let me get into this for you. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Redesign Your Logo is a song about a leaked production document for the new Pepsi Cola logo. You've seen it before. Everyone's seen the Pepsi logo, right? It's incredible. It's
Well,
simplified.
wasn't there like a because they had the old logo and then they changed it and then like now it's what it is now.
hmm
So I think they changed it
Yeah,
and then people didn't like it.
they've changed it since this leaked document, but it's basically the same fucking thing. But the
Yeah,
document is fucking insane.
insane.
I think I've sent you the PDF. It's fucking
Yeah, yeah.
nuts and it
No,
makes
no.
no fucking sense.
So redesign your logo's lyrics are just excerpts from
It is
that,
one
but
to
it's not the
one
whole thing.
things that are in there.
Yeah,
Like even the background here for the lyrics page has the fucking picture of convention with a line going through the Pepsi logo called innovation, and it's got DNA and future fucking going at the side.
yeah. Like what the? Okay, yeah, give us some excerpts, my friend.
Fucking shit like fucking the circle, smooth and inoffensive. The basis, gravity, Geomagnetism, which is genuinely brought up in the PDF.
Gravity is crucial. Geomagnetism. With some calculation, we will find your logo.
Fucking
Um,
convention
in
and
the human
innovation.
genome, you will find your logo.
Everything
If they
is
fail to see
connected.
it, everyone will see it, every demographic. If they fail to see it, are they even human? Every demographic, men 18 to 30, college-educated women over 30, suicidal poets, fat Midwestern fathers, kids with diabetes, Pentecostal preachers, mothers under 20, interracial couples, atheist professors, government employers, xenophobes and racists, private aviators, everyone will see it. Every demographic.
Yeah. It's
There is no longer language, only recognition. There is no longer
I love it. I
country.
love it because Neil takes the bullshit of this PDF document, just having a bunch of fucking corporate speak and whatever, and just kind of
And
appealing to a bunch
just
of fucking boomers and having a bunch of bullshit in it, and just takes it to the nth degree and makes it into a fucking like world order thing.
when the logo is finished, then we will unveil it. 7 billion people instantly enlightened. Everyone's rebranded. All the fighting's over. Say goodbye to conflict. That design's rejected.
I fucking love that line.
Everyone can see it. Everything's connected. Redesign your logo, your money, and then that just repeats 4 times.
Yeah. It is a song which takes the inspiration from that dumbass PDF document and takes it to the logical extreme of this is the new world order. Everyone will fucking bow down to Pepsi.
Yeah, it's really just like, hey, we will become the corporate of the world. Shadowrun, but except we're the only one.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't even like Pepsi that much.
No.
I'm a Dr.
I
Pepper
don't like
guy.
soda. I don't like soda. Dr. Pepper's pretty solid. Better than Pepsi.
I do like water though.
Dude, water is the best. And then there's ginger ale underneath it. Like, ginger ale is probably the best soda, at least in my opinion.
Eh.
Dr. Pepper is also a pretty good one. I'm not personally a fan
Water
of
is pretty kino.
water is like the emperor. I gotta say, man, water is the best. Unflavored. Flavored waters for weak people.
I feel like the most possible thing in this song, the most like thing that actually happened that's kind of like really offensive in a way, is that
Was it?
one commercial for Pepsi where
When like the
that
riots
woman,
were happening and like Kylie Jenner or whatever her name was, like
fucking
gave
hands a
the police
Pepsi to a
officer,
riot cop. And he's like, oh
and then
man,
he drinks it, and then there's peace everywhere.
oh man.
That was so bad.
It was so bad, and I just want you to imagine that, like last year. Fucking
Dude.
imagine that shit.
And then after redesign your logo, we have Sweet Bod, the demo, which is pretty old, and we've already talked about that. There's really no reason to keep going about that.
It sounds computery.
And then the final track.
The final
my favorite track. The one that Lemon, we listened to Spirit Phone, like playing Minecraft, and we're like, okay, that's good. And we were finishing up for the night. And you're like, okay, we get off the server, we shut it down. He's like, hold on. I want you to listen to this one last track. And I want you to listen to this music video. Like, watch this music video for it. It's like, okay, I pulled it out on my PC, and I'm just like typing it to him on the side. And it blew me away. Like,
it's really good.
The same thing with like Spiral Event. Like, I get really into stuff whenever I'm like everyone listening to music, I get really into it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, same thing as Spiral Events, you get into a headspace whenever you're listening. It's amazing, and it's unfinished apparently, with what Neil was saying.
Mm-hmm. But it is the most like story heavy, explicitly
Like,
horror while being such a mundane concept.
Yeah, it's a mundane concept, but also both existential and just normal, just spooky horror.
The concept for when you're at the party is that you are living your normal life. You're trying to go to bed, but there's a really loud party going on next door.
Yeah, except like it starts to like reveal that like in the thing, apparently like when it describes you in it, apparently like the character which they describe as you is sick or something, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like sweating and tossing and turning. Um, yeah, like they make you sweat, half awake, soaking wet, fever dream. Um, like paint flaking off the wall. As the night goes on, threatens dawn. The music fills the halls. They're in your house. Like the party invades your
Yeah.
just the house next door.
Yeah. I fucking love
And
I
then,
fucking love I fucking love it. How like the party like starts from outside, then it gets louder and it's in your house, the way Neil says it, like it's in your house.
yeah, it's sort of like you know you've heard about the Wild Hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because back in the day, people were like storms and like high winds, which sound like howling, like are like the Wild Hunt, and you just need to stay the hell inside because you know it's a storm, and it's high winds, but they think it's like some procession of like ghosts and ghouls like flying through the sky, and it's sort of like that. It's like this primeval force is the party as it moves
Yeah,
into your
I
house,
think it's like
and
it gets so real really early, but like it's like you lock your door, you shut your eyes tight as your window breaks, something takes your hand.
you don't understand it. You can't understand it. Eyes shut tight, never open up. Like as like the point of view character like gets like worse and worse. It's like
The eyes shut tight, never open up. Gets a really fucking cool like reprise later into the
yeah.
song.
Um like this is also one of the best sounding songs I've ever heard.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um like how it's like it sounds like it's both a really hype song and a really like ethereal like horror song.
It's very
Like when I'm
casual.
playing Dying Light and stuff.
It's very casually spooky when like Neil says like it's too late. Too late. You've been invited. Too late to the party. You're at the party.
Yeah. And like your character, like the character in this, like you know, make you sweat, half awake, soaking wet, fever dream is like if you're physically deteriorating as the party gets
Hmm.
closer,
Wake up. Wake up.
and then like, too late, you've been invited. Too late, you're at the party. Wake up, wake up. It's a place you've seen before. You've seen before. A
A
place
place
you've
you've
seen
seen
before.
before you were
No,
born.
and like he even like slows it down and like it's like a place you've seen before. You were born, dun, 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 and then it gets heavy again. And
Yeah.
it's haunting. It's just
It's
like
fucking
before you were
great.
born, and it's like now you are dancing. You're with your people. You're not alone. Da, 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 da. Now you are drinking, having a party. You're not alone. As you're like swept up in it, and
Uh-huh.
you're having a good time. It's something's off. Something's not right.
Too
It's like
late.
too late. You're at the party. Wake
Wake
up.
up.
You are the nuisance. You
Too
are
late.
that nuisance that was keeping you awake.
Uh-huh.
You're not alone. It's not a nightmare. You are delightful. You're not alone. You've been invited. You're at the party. And the second verse is like the whole like something's not right, especially
Mm-hmm.
like
Because
where it starts to like a breakdown.
you notice that the sun's not rising and the birds are dead. There's
There's only
only
dust on the floor where
where
people
people
were
were
before.
before.
The dream won't leave your head. If you need a drink, half empty bottles in the sink down the drain. Sudden rain outside alarm you. Your hour hands gone, and now you're feeling strange. Your hands grow strong, and your fingers long, and your face begins to change. You're mesmerized. You want to cover up your eyes,
But
but
they're
they're already
already
shut.
shut so tight. I fucking love it.
It's so oh,
Cause like it fucking distracts you with all that fucking hype shit about being at the party and you're dancing and you're with your people and it gets really exciting. And
that's what I mean. It's like it's
it
half one of the most hyped songs ever, and then just
makes you
horror.
forget the almost throwaway line of oh eyes shut tight, never open up.
Mm-hmm. A whisper in your ear, only you can hear, only you can hear it. Eyes shut tight, never open. No, this is when it happens. Only you can hear it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it picks up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, eyes shut tight, never
Never
open
open
up.
up.
Da-da-da-da. It's the best. It's like, too late. No, it's like, too late, you've been invited, too late, you're at the party, wake up, you're in the party, wake up, you're not alone. And it just like sweeps you up into it.
Mm-hmm.
place you've seen before, you've seen
And for like the
before.
outro, it's repeating the "You've been invited and you're at the party. You're not alone." It's an uproar, and it includes something that's not been said before, which is "It's not a nightmare." It's fucking crazy.
It's like the point of view character is being swept up into it and is like sort of caught up into it, not really like it's his reality now.
Mm-hmm.
He is the party.
You're like
He is.
a lot of the symbolism seems to imply that the character is dead, and this is like the afterlife.
Mm-hmm. And like as I said before, like talking about like it's a headspace. You're familiar with the concept of like liminal spaces, right?
Yeah.
I think this might be one of like the audio versions, or at least the like this a song like that put into a song. Like it's hard to explain, but it feels like a liminal space, but a song,
Mm-hmm.
like a familiar space. You're at a party, but also like the sun's not rising, the birds are dead, like nothing's there, but everything is there. Sort of like a like the back rooms, or maybe like as weird and as cringe as this sounds, like it was like VR chat rooms where you're just
Uh-huh.
floating in space, and it's
Yeah.
just like like a penthouse just in space, like a
It's
pocket
a really
dimension of just.
it's a really spooky song because it's something we've all experienced before.
Well, what do you mean?
Like try and go to sleep, but there's just a really loud party going on somewhere.
Hmm. Like you can't get to sleep because of some distraction,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, what if that sort of feeling came for you, and then that was on the other side. That's the other side.
Just an endless kind of annoying party.
Yeah, and like it's just like your body warping at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can't. It's like you can't shut your eyes because they're already shut tight.
Yeah. I love that. I love that line so much.
But they're already shut so tight. A whisper in your ear.
Only
Only.
you can hear it.
Da-da-da-da-da. What kind of instrument you say that is? Is it like a piano or like a synth piano?
I think it's something. It's like
I should never open up.
like
Uh,
the way he says never open up, like specifically
it's
emphasizing the open up. It's like people are knocking on his door,
never open up. Yeah, right.
like asking him to open up.
Like the party is like asking you to open up.
Hmm.
But
it's just such a spooky song.
I know,
Like
dude.
especially how
Like
like this is like why he also briefly considered having this be the final song instead of Spiral Advance. Like if he finished it,
yeah.
he wanted like kind of this to be it.
Hmm. Like it's baffling if this is unfinished.
Hmm.
Like this feels like an already finished and like polished and nearly and like almost perfect song.
Hmm.
I have no idea what he could have done to it.
Like maybe improve the instrumentals. I think is what he would have done.
Just like, but even then, I don't see a fault in it.
Yeah, cause like but like I feel like like since we're not technical people, we don't can't see any like weirdness in
Yeah,
there. Like there's probably is something in there, but like to us, this song is almost pretty much perfect.
yeah. Because I remember Anthony Fantano was talking, like there's a bit like in some of the songs, like some of the like the instruments are a bit like rough in places, probably just because like the synth work or something.
Hmm.
But I'm like I don't hear any of that
Yeah.
like at all. So I guess that's just us.
There's also there's like something about the instrument synthesizers that Neil used. Something about them has them to where if you use the original file, every time you like play it or open it up again, it changes slightly the instruments.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, and the he released the files a while ago, like sometime last year or so, I think, and and people, grab them and they do cool edits with them, like where like the touchtone telephone, but it's just touchtone.
Touchstone, touchstone,
Yeah, that
touchstone,
one.
touch,
The
touchstone.
if you listen to it carefully, the instruments are different because they're using the original like file.
Yeah. So basically, like, he's giving you, like, I don't know how to say it, but like the seed of it, and then from that
Yeah,
seed branches out something else each
like
time.
the original fucking Photoshop file.
Yeah. So it's basically like you're rendering it each time, and the render is slightly
Hmm.
different each
And
time. Sort of like
the
a
instrumentals and the renders are always a little bit different.
yeah, it's sort of like its own unique thing, which really like because Spirit Phone always like has this vibe to it.
Like
It's a great
it's
album, but the
cool, but
contents of it,
I feel like that adds like too much variability to it, to where like sometimes
yeah,
it makes some shit weird.
yeah. Which like I've also heard that like the record version of Spirit Phone is like the best version.
Yeah, because records or whatever, people are weird. I don't know. I've never heard
Which
to a
like that's
record.
where you get like the highest quality or something.
Yeah, I've never heard a record in real life. So, because I'm a fucking
I haven't
zoomer.
either.
Because I'm a zoomer.
No, I have, but it was like the old like 50s Christmas songs that my grandma would play at
Yeah,
Christmas time.
that barely counts though. That doesn't count.
Yeah. Dude, I cannot sing the praises of like Spirit Phone any more
Oh
than I
yeah,
already
no,
have.
no, me neither.
Like this is easily one
I
of
can't,
my
I think the highest praise could be we've had a like 2 hour podcast about it.
yeah, dude. I would say like it's probably one of my favorite albums of all time. Like 5 out of 5 shit.
Oh fuck
Like,
yeah. Listen to it all the time. Sometimes I just feel like a sweet vibe mood.
mm-hmm. Like there's still songs where I'm like, I need to listen to You're at the Park. Good. Like there are times where like I can't listen to some of the songs because it's just like if it's just like I feel in a very like creepy mood in the house one night or something.
Mm.
Because dude, these songs, man.
I am inherently a like creepy dude. I like creepy things. I like spooks and ghouls and monsters and stuff. So
Oh
I
yeah, of
just
course.
yeah, I like putting on the spooky songs because like I'm feeling a spooky mood.
It's a spooky month.
I don't even need the spooky month. I just feel like it
You
sometimes.
know, spooky month. It's so good.
It's really good. I don't know what else we could say other than it's really good.
I mean, like maybe at like some point at like a later entry of this podcast series or something, we could go over some of like Neil's other work, like some of his like stuff like Brodequist. I mean, there's not really much to do.
I like his other works, but I really think Spirit Phone is the best.
Is his best, yeah. Like there's stuff like like Two Trucks and stuff, which is good, but they aren't like it's good and it's funny,
Like yeah, like Nature
but
Tales. Yeah, like it's
nature taste. But like it's the fact that like it's so well done and the quality and it's not like haha joke song like some other like internet music is.
hmm
Like it's um like YouTuber music. Like a lot
yeah.
of that is just like haha joke or something.
With like a lot the fact that a lot of it is like that, and the fact that on the internet, like hidden within all of that, there are
Is
things.
legitimately good music that can
Yeah,
be taken
yeah,
itself.
yeah, and that's like, and I find that shit, and I fucking listen to it like crazy.
It's so good. Like like stuff that we're probably gonna like do in like later episodes. Like Worth a Kids, Ian Worth a Kid.
Mm,
Amazing dude. Like
fucking
yeah,
amazing,
like
man.
that one Minecraft night that we did was Spirit Phone, Duloc, Bikini Bottom, and Hawaii 2 Part 2, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hawaii Part 2. And like I think that is just some of the best music that like we found cuz I don't know how they do it. Like especially with like Ortho Kids. Like a lot his animations great. A lot of people watch his animations, but not a lot of people have heard his music in that regard.
Hmm.
And
One of his most like we talk about Word of Your Kid later, but one of his more popular videos, the one about the skeletons in the crowd, about the
Yeah,
band, and the crowd's dead, and it's just a bunch of skeletons because they used
yeah.
xylophones
They
in their
they
track.
pulled a bunch of
That
xylophones.
song is a full song. That song is a full
Yeah,
song that he made and fucking sang and had xylophone in.
and like we'll get into like more of this in depth in like a later episode, but like he released not too long ago, Dried Up Old Bones,
Hmm.
which is it looks like something out of a Rankin Bass movie.
He's just an incredibly multi-talented person.
Dude, like Worth the Kids is amazing. I have to say, like
Fucking love
he's
that
probably
guy.
like
Love
my
that guy.
favorite dudes on the internet. Whenever like he releases a video, me and you just like, dude, you see the new shit? Dude, it came out like right now. Dude, we gotta
Like
see
it,
it.
reminds me a lot of Neil and how they're both incredibly multi-talented and just do consistently good shit.
Yeah, and they deserve like so much more.
And yet,
Like,
yeah, they do so much more, and yet
publicity.
sometimes they're just not that noticed.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Like just the entire Duloc concept album, like how most of it is privated in a playlist, not even private, unlisted.
yeah, yeah. Like, wait, what do you mean, like unlisted?
Like the Duloc, a lot of the singles for the Duloc
Yeah,
concept
yeah.
album are unlisted in a playlist.
Like something that we'll have to do, like, cause we might even have to like, put Duloc and Bikini Bottom in different like videos, cause like we just got like a say about them.
Like
Cause like
they're
Duloc,
they're concept albums, but they're really in depth.
yeah, like Duloc, like same thing with like Spirit Phone has a lot of like and like Bikini Bottom as well has a lot of like odd tracks. Like some are funny, some are just beautiful, some are freaky as hell.
Some are the
And
hardcore rock,
yeah, and like I still go back to those songs to this day because they're just amazing songs in their own.
and then there was Peace in the Land.
And then there was Peace in the Land. And then like after Peace in the Land, The Wolf.
Oh yeah, the wolf, the fucking wolf.
That's not a song, that's an experience. Worth the Kids. Man, that shit. Like and like even some of his like his EP, what was his EP called? Was it just didn't he label it under Doulahan? After one
Uh,
of the songs in there?
I'm not sure.
I remember a few of the songs. One of them is Doulahan. One of them is When Did My Hair Get So Long? And there's a couple of other things, but I don't remember the name. And then like even recently he did Wire.
Oh yeah, fucking Wire. Oh, I fucking love
Wire,
Wire.
like this screaming bits. It's like I'm on the wire, but I'm not tripping.
Also, like
Eyes of a pure.
the entire, like he fucking had an entire OST for fucking what's it called? Big Top Burger.
Yeah, Big Top Burger. He did the music for that, and that's amazing.
My favorite song in the Big Top Burger like OST is the Down, which is a kind of like reverse of Up. For like Up is the opening theme and Down is like the
Yeah, that's the
reverse
close.
theme but for
It's the EP.
Zomburger.
Yeah, like Up is what plays at the beginning, and then like Down is what plays during the credits. It's so good, and especially like let me check the views for both Duloc
Yeah,
and
not a
Bikini
lot.
Bottom.
Not a lot. Not a lot, not
And
enough.
he did it like a year after, like because Duloc has 34K views
Mm.
4 years ago. Came out in 2016, and then a year later, came Bikini Bottom, which is 82K. Um, and so many people did, but it's like only 190 like comments on it,
Yeah. It's just
and and all and like nobody talks about it, which is a shame because there's so much to talk. Like
part of me is hoping that us talking about Spirit Phone for the first episode will attract the big Spirit Phone audience, so that hopefully they
mhm.
can listen to like the next one of these and they can find shit like from Morvie Kids and other smaller
Yeah, and
weirdo
like
albums.
as we said before, like we're not in this for like fame and getting views and shit. We just want to like get what we're
I
passionate about
want
out
the
there.
fame and views just so other people can get the attention they
Oh
deserve.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's not like, oh, we don't want like the fame for ourselves.
If I can even a little bit influence people into watching and listening to these fucking
Like
things I
people
love
who
so
deserve
much.
it, and like people who
Yeah.
do good stuff, like way better stuff than us.
Like
And
go to
like,
Bandcamp or like buy the fucking vinyl for Spiritphone. Do it. There's a cassette if you
dude,
want it.
yeah, like Spirit Phone CD, cassette, record.
Available
Um,
in literally anything that plays music.
you can listen to Spirit Phone in its entirety on YouTube,
Hmm.
Spotify, whatever.
It's everywhere.
It's just,
It's
oh,
everywhere.
it's so good. And then like all of Orthokid stuff is on YouTube and Bandcamp.
Yeah. For free.
Like, you know, yeah, for free. It's all free.
It's all free.
Nobody's making money. And like, I do sometimes I really wish that like he would get like enough exposure to put that stuff on Spotify, because, or even just like getting, I would pay good money for a record of Bikini Bottom. That is one of my favorite
It would
albums
be
of all.
pretty cool.
It's amazing. But we can't talk about Orthokid's too much for
Can't
this
talk about it
episode.
too much. This is a Spirit Phone episode.
Spirit Phone episode.
Spirit Phone.
Yeah, I can't recommend.
Yeah. It's great. It's fucking awesome. Most like a good amount of people know it. But that's why we start with it, because we also know it the best out of them, all the stuff we have.
Yeah, the stuff that we just like looked into all the time, and the fact that like for the other stuff, it'll take a like there's not much like information available that we can just look at.
So we need the
There's no comedy tracks.
research techniques.
Mhm. Like Spirit Phone. Like Spirit Phone, the first one has 1 million views, and then like all of these are just getting like insane like parts of like insane views just because like it's so good.
It's so good.
And like there's even
Specifically like
people.
touchtone telephone. Like if you like
Mhm.
like if it weren't for all the kind of like weird kind of supernatural references, like the fucking super something C and, and fucking
Super
Robert Stack.
sarcastic.
Yeah, Super Sarcasmo Stat and Robert Stack and fucking all that shit. Like it's probably be on the radio.
Yeah, and like people do good stuff with Spirit Phone. Like they make like shit posts about it.
Yeah.
And there's also like this dude remastered Spirit Phone in 2020 with
Yeah.
like crisper sound. Let me check Touchtone Telephone. Yeah, Touchtone Telephone is 5.1 million views, and then there's a second one which is by Falling Desk. He has 2.5 million views for like a music video of it.
It's really good.
And somebody else made a music video, and it's just people making music videos. Like, so good. There's also a Soft Fuzzy Man animation thing that somebody did by Aim Kid. 2 million views. Soft Fuzzy Man has
my
1.2
man
million.
Aim Kid.
Yeah, Aim Kid holding more views for Soft Fuzzy Man than the original song.
Yeah.
It's such a good one.
I love Aim Kids. I specifically like my trains.
Yeah.
My basement.
And then there's also other Neil Cicerega stuff like everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
Everybody loves
And then
Raymond.
just like it's like the King of Queens.
Like Neil is just a very kind of a he's a professional internet person. He has a really cool video of state nightmares where he legit went to every state in the United States.
I know. It's such a
Took a
good video.
video of like fucking weird nightmares that they may or
Yeah.
may not have.
It's like like this one's like the nightmare of this state is waking up and finding an Amish person in their house. Like
Yeah.
it's like stuff like that. And then like he does shit like Brody Quest, and like he makes something about like old sitcom, like a music like out of like old sitcom titles. That's the lyrics.
I
And then
fucking
he
love.
makes
I love. One of the other albums has the romance song made entirely out of Goosebump titles.
oh yeah, that one.
Yeah,
That one's good.
called
And then Two
Goosebumps.
Trucks,
Two trucks.
which is just a song about two trucks having sex.
Yeah,
And that's all it is. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles, involuntarily flex.
it's beautiful. It's really mask of my own face.
Wear a mask of my own face.
A really cool hat.
Of my really cool wig.
Really cool wig. Yeah.
Cool wig, a really cool wig. And he can't remember what is really cool.
He just knows that it
Trying
was a really cool wig. It's just Neil's a very talented person. He makes a lot of good songs, but I think Spirit Phone is his best work.
It's like the craziest concepts given like Billboard 100 like
He says it.
quality.
He says it himself uh in the commentary track that he just likes making dumb songs for the internet. And sometimes those songs may have a deeper meaning.
Sometimes if he didn't even intend to.
Sometimes he didn't even intend it, but god damn it, is it there?
He made a song detailing Jaws, but there's stuff wrong, like Jaws walking into the mayor's office and then like shanking him,
Mm-hmm.
or just like shooting the mayor.
Yeah.
It's Neil Cicerega, amazingly talented.
Yes.
Everybody who watches this should check it out if they haven't already.
I don't think anyone who's made it to the end of his podcast has not already like listened to and enjoyed Spirit Phone.
Yeah, we probably should have said like, hey, before you watch this, go listen to it.
I mean, even us explaining to it, it doesn't fucking matter as long as they
It
listen
doesn't do
to it.
justice at all.
It
It doesn't
doesn't.
do
It
justice at
doesn't.
all. Like, even us like botching the singing of it, like, oh man.
You get what we mean while we sing it. You understand.
This is just basically us waxing poetic about how we are not good enough to sing praises of music that we like. It's like we can't do it justice. It's so good. We can't even comprehend.
Just
Just
trust
like
us. Just trust
some
us.
Greek tragedy.
The fucking Greek tragedy. What the fuck?
You just have to trust us.
You just gotta trust us. Trust this podcast, which has possibly no name or possibly a name.
Possibly some sort of name.
Some sort of
Something
clever title.
colon spirit phone.
Cl-
For this
clever
episode.
title. Clever title.
Clever title.
You got anything else to say?
How long have we been going at this for this one?
You got anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think we've said all we said we could about
We're good. We've driven
about spirit
ourselves
phone.
hoarse about this.
Yeah, is your voice also really like hurting?
It's getting there, but I have a strong endurance.
Yeah, I don't scream like you do.
I'm a powerful man.
Yeah, quite. So, yeah, that's the end of our first episode of this. Us reviewing albums we
I've been doing a
indie
lot of
albums that
podcasts
deserve.
recently.
Huh?
I've been doing a lot of podcasts recently.
Yeah, we do a lot of podcasts. I mean, not because we should be doing podcasts. Like, it'd be fun to do this podcast. Would you want to do it? Hell yeah, let's do it right now.
I'm just gonna keep making podcasts until someone forces me to stop and get proper therapy.
It's our mental health disease. We get to choose the coping mechanism.
And then straight up just fucking make a podcast instead of getting therapy. What the fuck?
I love that. I love that video.
This-
Yeah,
Alright.
obscure music podcasts about albums and music that deserve more credit.
I know it doesn't make it seem like it's obscure when we're talking about Spirit Phone, but trust us though.
trust us. Spirit
we'll get
have
obscure.
millions of views and stuff, but
We'll get obscure.
trust us,
Trust
it
us.
is having like a million and such across like different songs and just like the thing itself.
I'll bring up fucking Toho jazz reimagining albums if I need to.
Yeah, but like they only get more obscure from here.
Yeah.
Because holy hell, does like Spirit Phone may be one of the most popular, but it's still very obscure and deserves way more attention than it has.
Even us just talking about fucking just mentioning the Worthy Kids is already getting obscure.
Yeah, I know. Like Wire has 1.8 million views. Like Big Top Burger has been out for like half a year now. Like the entirety of season 1 is like 1.7, and that's like criminal for the amount of effort it's been.